Okay, we hopefully should be running right now. I hope it'll kick itself up in a second. But hello, everybody! Welcome to another session of D&D with our lovely players here. Of course, you should all recognize our lovely three players. Could we start, please, with you, Kayla? Who do you play today?
Oh my goodness, I play Valindra. She is a half tiefling, half elf warlock.
Hmm.
And she has the cutest little companion, Finnick Fox, named Winnie.
Yes, she does. And
Yes.
and then let's say Scott. Who are you playing?
Hello, I play Varka Stormcaller, the Dragonborn Goliath cleric.
Perfect. And of
Big
course,
and blue.
yes, excellent. And Cody, who do you play?
Hi there. I play Rook, the half tiefling, half Kenku rogue.
Yep, great. Yep, perfect. And of course, I am your little humble dungeon master, Andrew Jensen, AJ to my friends. And this is another session where we go back into the world of Faloran, where these three adventurers had last left off, going through what appears to be a process of becoming legitimate adventurers and/or just bounty hunters, hirees, those sorts of things, by going with a agent who is called Lulu, and she was very convincing at being able to make sure that they signed up with her, and actually giving them their very first contract, which sent them to find a missing object that was stolen recently. The object in question was a porcelain bone urn. Now, upon the party having a little bit of extra help from her, she was able to procure a locate object scroll, which she then allowed Varkesh to cast the spell and narrow down the location of this item, where they found in the lower end part of the town River Run a small kind of broken, worn down, partially built, not fully complete house that they were able to see an individual looking over this urn before they tried to supposedly subdue him and then take the urn back. But in the middle of this conflict and Varkesh barging down the door downstairs with Valindra's help, Rook, you found that the individual with his last breath took some of the ash that was inside the urn, inhaling it and infusing his essence with the rest of it as he deteriorated into nothing but a skeleton, as his bones and all the bones from the ash inside rematerialized to form a swirling storm of this just like horrifying visage. Thankfully, you were able to pretty much subdue this animation, as Valindra was able to uncover a specific little bone piece that was in the pile before the rest of it returned to the urn as a cloud of gray soot. Now, we now have left off with you three still around the urn in this dirty, dingy shack, as you now have the tiny little finger bone in your possession. So, Valindra, Varkesh, Rook, what would you like to do?
I would like to complain loudly about the entire situation.
I would like to gather all the Winnie pieces.
Yes.
I feel so bad. I'm so sorry.
He died.
Yeah.
And reassemble him.
Alright, so you go ahead and sit off to the side as you see Valindra going around the room, bit by bit, picking up these broken pieces like a doll, just gathered them up into her lap as she has what looks to be like a broken plushie of this once animated and alive Fennec Fox. But she begins to once more take her hand and bring out a long purple glowing needle that she then draws down into her shadow and pulls it up as a thread of this black kind of translucent sinew begins to weave in and out of the creature as she takes her hour to reassemble Winnie back into his living state.
The entire time I'm watching very close.
Varkesh in his head is going, knit one, pearl two. Knit one, pearl two.
It is a very eerie thing to see as she kind of stabs the flesh, and you can see that as she continues throughout the hour, her shadow begins to shrink, and eventually when she completes the process, her shadow has disappeared entirely and has infused to little Winnie to the point that when the last thread is snipped, back to life the creature comes, just looking about, none the wiser to its demise, and just perkily looking around and then seeing Valindra and kind of going, and just going right up to her and nuzzling under the chin, just trying to get as close as it can to her.
Hi, bud. I know. I know. Put it on my shoulder.
I feel bad.
So,
I did want to, like, fold, because Varkesh had given me a napkin, and I put the finger in the napkin and I folded it up and put it in my bag.
Good use of a napkin.
Yes. But yes, so you have Winnie return to you. It is about what you can tell looking up at the sky, since there are quite a few holes in the roofs. It's still probably about 4 or 3 in the afternoon. Nothing too late yet, but you do get the sense that you spent a little bit of time just going on this errand of finding the urn.
So, Valindra, your shadow is gone. The urn just came to life, and you just reassembled a small living creature and brought it back to life. Care to explain?
Well, there's a lot going on there. Like, we don't really have time for it now.
You just spent an hour sewing a small living creature back to life. Of course we have time.
He has a point.
It was only like 10 minutes, right? It was 10 minutes. No, it was an hour. Oh, God.
It was an hour. It was a full hour to reanimate Winnie.
That's right. What? I mean, well, this.
It's okay. Use your words.
Well, it's just that that's a lot of questions at once to answer. A lot at once.
This is true. This is true. I suppose for right now, I just want to know the most important thing. What happened with that urn there? We were sent to retrieve this, and I don't think the employer will be very happy that it's completely changed.
Oh, well, I can answer that one very quickly. I don't know. There was I just, whenever the ash was kind of like piling up, like I saw the little finger and I was like, oh, that's weird that that's not ash. And so I just kind of like fished it out and then, just sort of.
So what you're saying is you just decided to pull a small finger out of a pile of ash for no other reason than that it's the only small finger bone
Wait.
inside of a weird urn.
Pull a finger out of an ass?
No. That is, no, Vargas. Ash.
Ash.
Yeah.
Confuse me.
It's just that, it kind of stood out in the ash. So I thought maybe, this doesn't really belong here. And then I took it out and then the whole thing happened. And so now I'm thinking maybe the urn is safer now that the bone is gone because nobody can inhale the ash and try to kill people. So.
We can insight check on all of that.
Yes, you can go ahead and make an insight check to this.
I guess I should make a deception check.
Yeah, this is definitely you being more deceptive, so go ahead and roll your counter-deception. Beat the 20, and you'll be fine.
No, Marcus is just going to reach into his bag of holding and pull out a pastry and just start eating.
Okay, you can definitely tell that Valindra seems to be hiding a great deal of information when she is sharing this story, this little tall tale that she's just weaving out of thin air.
So not a single word you just spoke was true, and I know this. But I'm not going to press further right now. I understand we have not known each other very long. We have much to learn about each other. But if we are to work together, I will need to find out more about this eventually, okay?
Oh, can't hear you, Kate.
I'm hoping to find some answers, dealing with this myself. So.
This will be okay enough for me for now. Let's go and get this urn back. And we'll need to come up with some reason that it is shiny.
The second floor still?
Yes, you are all still up on the second floor.
Right. Is there a window nearby?
Yes, there is.
Okay. I would like to go to the window.
Okay.
Open the window.
There is no shutter. It is wide open.
Oh no.
Okay, so light. Do I have to draw it up, or is that like
Nope,
void
it
of
is just
glass?
an open hole.
Okay. And I will attempt to squeeze my way through it.
Okay, I mean, you can certainly push your way through if you want. It leads to a straight drop down to the street.
That's fine. I don't like doors. I don't like that door down there. That caused problems, so I'm going through the window.
Well, no, but this is a bad idea. This is a worse idea than going to the
Outsego!
No, the...
Okay, I mean, just go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me as you try to land on your feet. DC is 10.
Oh, wait,
Oh yeah,
that's
you're fine. You're fine.
Sorry, you said acrobatics, right?
Acrobatics, yes, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, okay, well, I mean, you try to be fine. You try to land with your muscle, and you just kind of eventually get that nice ooh, and then you just kind of go. You try to stand up, and in the standing up moment, you kind of do like a little tumble
Shit.
as you really put your weight
Okay,
into
I just
adjusting your balance.
Broke something I don't think I can repair. Oh.
But yes, luckily you are all able to re-meet downstairs as you kind of all just reassess yourselves. Who has the urn?
Not
I
me,
would
I jumped
carry
out the window.
I will carry the urn.
All right, good. So as Valindra,
Can I hide it in my bag?
You can't really hide it successfully in your bag. You can stuff it in there a little bit as it'll stick out. It's a wide urn. It's probably about a good 2 feet in diameter at least at the top, and then it does that little extra width and then comes down and tapers. So the tapered part you could kind of stuff into your backpack a little bit. You'll just have this protrusion.
Okay. Yeah, because I just don't want to, like, carry an urn because I'm trying to steal it, so I'm going to try to hide it as best I can.
Okay, all right. So you try to stuff this big urn as much as you can in there, and you're just like, good enough. Slinging it over your back, you head off down the street with Varkesh and Rook in tow. Where do you wish to go?
Oh, wait. Is there anything of the body left?
From what you could tell, the body disintegrated in front of you. The flesh and sinew all just kind of melted off, leaving just the bone. And the bones, when they started to rise into the air, more of the dust came around, and it seemed to join this very peculiar undead swarm. So it didn't seem to stay together once the urn looked to have been successfully subdued. The rest of it seemed to disintegrate into ash and return into the urn.
Okay, so based on the description of him before he turned into a freaky bone thing, did it match the description of James Markson?
Yes, it did. You also
Okay.
recognize that when you did a slight bit of combat with him, because you came up at the last round, he did have the very recognizable uniform of the 2 guards that you had seen in front of the library, with the same emblem in the middle.
Okay. I just want to make sure we
Yep.
had. Okay, I guess to Lulu?
Do we have to go see that devil woman? She scares me.
We're going to be seeing a lot of her, Varkesh. We signed a contract with her.
You were the one who kind of pushed us to do so.
I
true.
do a lot of things. Not all of them good.
I'm beginning to notice
Not all of
that.
them bad. But I suppose we should go.
Okay, so you all make your way back to the square of River Run, the heart of the town, where you can see once more the very daunting architecture of the guild hall, that very tall gray stone, almost 4 to 5 stories in height, as you once more go towards the large wooden doors, opening up to the vast expanse of this open colonnade, where you can see above the glass ceiling still lets in the last bit of light that is coming slowly to a dim glow in the interior, as a lot of it now is having that like residual as opposed to direct light. You can see that there is still quite a few people moving about, hustling and bustling, many different species and half-breeds and races, all scurrying according to whatever business they're attending to. You can see a few that are waiting in line, trying to either submit a contract or pick up one. As you do a little quick surveillance around, everyone make a perception check for me.
Is she gonna like descend from the ceiling like a dulling spider?
Looks like Valindra's nat 20s are back. Well, not even a nat 20, but still higher.
Not
than
a
yours.
nat 20, but it's still a good number.
All right. So, all of you are pretty keen on listening as you kind of make your way, just picking up bits of gossip here and there. Valindra and Varkesh specifically. Valindra, it catches your ear where you hear two people talking almost in like a quiet gossip about something. And as you kind of pause and listen, you hear them just go, yeah, I heard. Yeah, Lulu's got a new set of bogies to go with. Yeah, I can't believe that she found someone. The last group that she sent on, they died instantly.
Oh, God.
Not much luck when it comes to them, you see. I think that she's a bit of a curse, right? Yeah, not much of a curse, more of a, more of a, what do you call eccentric. I think she likes to pick up some of those really difficult cases. And they see you kind of staring for a moment, go, and they rush off really quickly. They seem to not want you to be able to pick up because they recognize who Lulu's new adventurers are. The very iconic Dragonborn behind you being very much a signal.
I'm going to look at Varkesh, and I'm just going to be like, this is your fault. If we die, this is your fault.
I was going to say, shit, that was rather foreboding, but that's not my fault.
It's pretty much your fault, actually, yeah.
Why blame? It's because I'm blue, isn't it? You want
No.
to blame
Well,
me
it's because you...
Knowing that I've now caught them off guard with that comment, I'm going to walk off. Go, I didn't cause this. I didn't do anything wrong.
God.
But yes, as you continue down the way, leaving those two gossiping clerks, from what you could tell, behind, you do eventually spot Lulu off into the back. She does seem to be in the middle of what looks to be some kind of heated negotiation debate, where she looks to be trying to diffuse the situation by waving her arms around quite wildly and just trying to make the man look like he's intimidated up the wazoo by her overflowing and boisterous kind of attitude. He does eventually seem to relent as he scurries off to the way, and she kind of does this little grumpy hump. Turning around, she does eventually spot you as you are making your way towards her, and she just immediately just brightens up and turns on this kind of charming face as she just like calls out from the distance, "Darlings!" And she just turns right over to all of you. Just going, "I am so pleased to see you all alive and well, and do you have the urn?"
Just looks at Belinda.
Yes. Yes, we do.
I knew you could do it. You were the best of the best. I could smell it. Let me see it. Let me see the urn. And she quickly kind of turns you around for a moment before getting to the urn and goes,
I feel dirty.
She kind of holds it and goes, exquisite. You've done splendid work. Absolutely splendid. Here, I'm going to put this somewhere safe. As she kind of moves off to the side to one of the clerk desks as she just leaves it on there for the moment and turns around and does this little pan in front of it going, "Darlings, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to see this. You couldn't imagine. I was looking for some brilliant adventurers, and my luck would have it that I found the three best. You do realize that this contract was one of the most, the most challenging, and you certainly came up to the challenge, didn't you, my sweets? Yes, you did. And of course, you should all be paid in full, shouldn't you? Here, come around the desk. I shall help you. As she quickly moves around and starts to pull out ledger books and starts to tally up some numbers. Okay, let's see this. All right. So, reward, of course, 1,000 gold pieces, as promised. Of course, minus the scroll usage, which, of course, was a 200 gold fee, so that's 800 gold left. Minus, of course, the 10% to me, so that will go ahead. We can drop in that for another 100, so that leaves you with 700 gold pieces. And let us go ahead and tally this here for the fees of membership, signing up things. Good. You should have a total of 650 gold pieces to split amongst you. Isn't that lovely? Would you like that in gold or platinum?
I'm just going to look at Rook.
I'll take that in platinum.
Platinum it is. I figured it was savvy. Oh, but of course, there is a third option. Would you like me to keep it safe for you as trader's credit?
How exactly would that work?
I say yes, because that sounds legit.
Well, of course, any credit that you have here will be extended through all the traders' guilds throughout Florin. You will be able to, well, in a sense, purchase anything from any of our halls that you may find your way to. You won't have to carry any of that dastardly, heavy coin. And also, you will save yourself from having those terrible run-ins with bandits and the likes who try to steal from you. Those naughty people. We don't like them. But with this, we secure your payment in our own vaults, and of course we will be able to use it to provide any other, to provide you with any purchases you may like through your own funds. So, if you would wish to keep it as credit, it saves us a lot of problems. So, what do you say?
Rakesh is thinking, is this a bank? Is this devil woman talking about a bank?
You do get the sense from what you know that the Traders Guild does, because you are a member, they do operate in a way where they like to make trade and interaction between customer and the businesses as fluid and easy as possible. They've literally monopolized it to the point of being the best of the best. And the one thing that they like to do to secure means of trade is that if they operate everything under credit or Trader Guild credit, it saves people from being losing their money if they get bandits or stolen on the road, and it also is a good way to transfer a lot of large, expensive transactions from heavy items to people. For instance, let's say the miners up in Trilak, when they bring out their ore, they will tend to just keep it on credit and have everything there, and then only provide it when needed necessarily for other trades. It's a very quick and efficient method that they like to employ.
I will default to the rest of the group.
Could we maybe take part in Solid Coin? Because I feel like
of course, my dear. Yes, absolutely. I can split it, of course. How much would you like to keep for yourself?
What was it?
maybe like, I don't know, Brooke. You know money better than any of us.
I'm carrying enough cash on me for anything I might need to purchase outside of these guilds, so
well,
I'm perfectly fine with leaving it home.
You see, he's a smart investor. He knows a good thing when he hears it. So, all of it in credit?
Sure.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you. And she closes up and makes a mark in the book and then slides it once more under the desk.
Now, do you have a receipt of any sort for that for us?
Oh, well, darling, I keep track of everything. I will be able to, hold all the files, but if you need me to make a copy, I suppose that I could.
Yes, I insist.
Oh, very well. I can see that our trust is still growing, and soon, eventually, you'll just rely on old Lulu for everything. And you just worry about adventuring. And she just once more pulls out a little sheet of parchment, pulls out the book, and quickly makes a note, tallies the total number of credit you have earned, and slides it over to you. It seems to be like a small sheet, no more than about maybe 6 inches in length.
Okay, go ahead and put that on here. And does that say the total 650?
It does. It says 650 trader's credit.
Excellent. Got that marked down here.
As she is wooing you and kind of smiling continuously, you do eventually hear in the distance a slight call going, "Lulu! Lulu! Blasted woman, where is that? There you are!" As you turn around, you can see a very large, disgruntled-looking individual, big shaggy beard. He just is stomping towards her. You can tell that he looks to be partially dwarf, perhaps, in his race. You can see that the beard is very prominent, but he's rather tall. He's almost about the size of you, Valindra, but you see him kind of storming forward as he just goes, "Pardon me, ma'am. Excuse me. Lulu! Lulu! I told you before, you do not steal from me and my clients. That scroll was ours, and you know it!" "Oh, darling, please, by all means, no. I didn't steal any scroll. I just simply borrowed it. Borrowed it without asking, but still borrowed it. I was willing to pay you, and here, see, as these three here have used it, they have paid in full, and the mark has been made, and another scroll will be given to you shortly." Yes? He just goes, "I don't need it shortly. I need it now. I have a full slew of adventurers waiting to use it to find my own." Pardon me, as you see him just kind of looking at all of you for a moment, just realizing you're circling the table. He goes, "Pardon me. My name is Stormbrow. You are adventurers, yes, but either way, sorry. Please excuse me, I have business with Lulu. And Lulu immediately just goes, yes, business with me, but perhaps we might be able to come to an arrangement. I have a fine selection of adventures right here that could help you, couldn't you? She kind of looks a little panicked, smiling, eyes going a little wider, going, "Yes, help me out."
We can help.
Yeah, you see? Yes, the beautiful Dragonborn. Yeah, yes, you can. You'll just
I
mighty.
am rather beautiful.
Yes, you are. Yes, he can do it, can't you? Yes, I believe you have the skills to produce this spell. Yes. Mm-hmm. Help me out.
Oh, you're meaning me. Well, I don't know.
Don't be modest, darling. He can do it. Absolutely, I know he can. He can do it without you having to spend money, so that money can go back to you and your adventurers. Ooh, isn't that better? Perhaps having someone here to help you, rather than having to meddle with more of those paperworks and those nasty little clerks downstairs to find your replacement. I can promise you, these adventurers are the best. They just recently brought this back, as she taps the urn. Isn't it marvelous? She does that little, like, with her finger on it, just kind of getting that little extra squeak. He kind of looks around a bit between all of you and the urn, and back up at Varkesh. He goes, "All right, is it true? Can you actually produce this locate object?"
I'm going to say yes.
No. God.
He just slowly kind of crosses his arms and gives you a quick assessment up and down and goes, "And all of you are together? You are a party under Lulu."
Yes, that is the
Yes.
case.
I'm afraid so.
Wait, what?
Yes. Well, very well. If you don't mind, you could accompany my own contractees and see if you can help them in fulfilling their own work. Come along! You see him just moving right off the way as Lulu just kind of looks around and goes, "I'll be here when you're done, darlings. I have more work for you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Goodbye. Bye.
What just happened?
Toodles."
You just signed us up to do someone else's job, Varkesh.
Did I?
Yes.
That's amazing. I didn't
No.
realize it's not. Oh.
No.
Oh, I'm
There's
sorry.
no negotiation if we're going to get paid for this or not. Basically, all we're doing is saving Lulu's skin for stealing that scroll, which she shouldn't have done in the first place.
Yes, well, ultimately, if we lose our contractor, we as contractees lose out too. We're already associated with her, so we can hardly get away from it if word gets out.
Better ask
Think of it
it.
as a way to maintain our reputation as reliable adventurers.
You do see that Stormbrow kind of weaves you in and around, trying to get you to the other side almost of the actual hull. As you see him going to a nice mahogany-based desk, you can see him beginning to pull out paperwork as he starts to lie it on the table, row after row, just kind of, he looks to be just doing a quick organization and it's just saying, "All right, fine, let's see here. Well, I have at least one individual who requested that this scroll be provided for them so that they could fulfill the latest contract. Now, if you...
Is it a lady?
No.
Shit. I mean, oh dear.
So, if you don't mind, I shall quickly contact him and have him come straight forward so that you can provide the necessary spell for him. No, please, if you don't mind. He just kind of looks around for a moment before he...
What spell?
He seems to spot a small, what appears to be almost like an intern to your guess, a little less refined-looking individual, younger, as he just goes, Boy over there! And you see the little boy just kind of stopping as he turns and looks and kind of walks over and goes, "I need you to go into the waiting rooms. Please find the individual here. His name is Smokey. Please, go on. Come off." As the boy just kind of gives a little quick nod, he just scurries away, heading off deeper into the trader's hall.
Don't make a bird joke. Don't make a bird joke.
But yeah, As you are waiting for
I'm barely holding on myself.
Pluck the bird.
as you wait for no more than about 5 minutes or so, you eventually see the young individual coming back with what appears to be another adventurer in tow. Now, with our new adventurer, we have our guest coming on today, so please everybody say hello to Connor. Connor, please describe your character for us.
Ah,
Hey, Connor.
Hey, everyone. So what you see before you is a rather rotund-looking tabaxi. You can't tell entirely if it's fat or just the poof of his hair. Imagine a very well-furred Persian cat, black, only his hair is freaking going everywhere. It goes on even further than his ears. And he kind of twitches a little bit. He seems to have a little bit of a tick. His eyes are his most prominent feature, however, and they are just yellow with these red specks, giving off a very orangish, very vibrant look to them. His nose is pretty pushed and flat, typical of a Persian, and he just sort of shuffles forward. He doesn't seem to be wearing any armor at all. He's wearing just these robes, and you see the neckline is just like its neck, and then just like poof. But yeah, you see he wears a belt and a backpack, and you see just a modest little dagger on his belt, but otherwise no other weapons.
And as you see this tabaxi approaching, the intern kind of does a quick little turn away, knowing that he's done his job and he's not going to be suffering the wrath of Stormbrow as he eventually goes, "Ah! Smokey, good to see you again, please. Come here. I have a substitute for the scroll. Sadly, as you know, our infamous Lulu recently acquired it and had it used. But we have the next best thing here," as he kind of quickly claps Varkesh on the shoulder and goes, "We have here a fine adventurer who has the means of being able to procure this spell on his own."
Greetings to you, fat cat. Are you fat? I mean, you look rather chunky.
Varkesh, that is very rude.
Was it?
You notice the cat try to suck in his gut a little bit. It doesn't do much.
Don't need to hide it. It's okay. We saw you were fat when you walked in.
Oh, God.
I assume it's a side effect of that glorious fur of yours. It is striking.
Well, thank you.
There's a lot of it.
Oh, God.
You're right. There is.
I'm right.
So hi. My name is Smokey. It's short for Smoky Cloud. It's nice to meet all of you. So you're all adventurers?
Yes. Okay, so can I tell his twitchiness? Is it has he had too much caffeine?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Is he on drugs?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Stop it. Get some help.
It's hard to tell whether or not he's just a twitchy fellow in general, or maybe perhaps he's just really excited, or he might have had one too many swigs of the cocoa, but he looks to be just okay.
Yes, we are adventurers. You needed help finding something for a contract that you are trying to complete?
Yeah, I mean, I came to Stormbrow and he said that he could, get me the scroll, but apparently that didn't quite go to plan. But, I mean, if you guys can help out, that'd be amazing.
I'm going to extend a clawed finger and actually poke to see if it is fur or fat.
It is
Can I slap his claw?
Go ahead.
That was unacceptable.
You're unacceptable. God.
No, I'm outrageous.
You did get a slight sense that it is mostly poof, that it's a volume of fluff.
He is mostly made of cotton balls. It's okay. He's not obese.
But as your interaction goes around the table, you do eventually see that Stormbrow just kind of getting your attention once more. He goes, "Right, now that introductions are done, perhaps we could return to business at hand here," as he pulls out the piece of paper and puts it down. "Right, Smokey, you were last requested to find the individual who had taken a book, supposedly with transcriptions and other different writings about necromantic magics. searching and discovering some of the secrets that were lost in the Age of Reckoning. So, you would please, if you don't mind, with post-haste, find the book and return it here, and we shall once more put it in safe hands.
Who is that contract for, by the way?
This is Smokey's contract. This has been his contract for the past few days. I had to require that he wait until I was able to procure a scroll for him, and he sadly was unable to use it due to interference, as you well know.
Oops.
Well, yes. The who had the book taken from them, though?
We
That
do not
might help
release the
with our
client's name. How do you not know this? Are you recent adventurers?
Yeah, well,
Recent and optimistic. Thanks.
Yes, quite.
But until just recently, we were free agents. We worked on our own parts, and this new contract thing is, yes, new to us. But that doesn't make us any less capable.
According to the Traders Guild laws, we will make sure that all contracts are kept private, and we do not share information to anyone about the clients and their requests if they request it to be kept private.
That is. Let's go. I guess. Try to find this book.
I'm confused. My friends are maybe slightly angry at me right about now, but it's just a hunch. I don't know if they actually are. What spell were you referring to?
Locate object.
Ah, that one. Okay.
Good.
Okay. Boss, before we go, have there been any sort of, updates about, sort of narrowing down the search?
Sadly, we have no leads whatsoever to the location of this. The last we had told you from before was that it was taken out of town recently when it was supposed to be transferred to Alniel. So perhaps you might want to go to the road and see if you can cover as much distance before something might come up on your journey.
Right. Okay. And Smokey will start walking out the door.
Okay.
I'll follow behind him.
I'll follow.
Anyone hungry? I'm hungry.
Are you ever not hungry?
I mean, I'm hungry. Let's go get something to eat.
What time of day is it?
It is closing to, well, now that after your introductions with Stormbrow and Smokey, it has gotten to about 4:30.
Yeah, I suppose we could get something to eat. Do we want to leave tonight? Or...
It'd probably be for the best. I mean, it's already been missing for a few days, so we don't want to completely lose the trail.
Well, if this is just me, by the way, I suggest we leave in the morning because I'm rather spell-shagged right about now.
Spell shagged?
I can't perform much holy stuff.
Oh, too much information. Okay.
Well, there you have it. I mean, he can't cast a spell. We would have to go out and stand in the woods again, and that's dirty and gross.
Mm-hmm.
We should stay here for the night and leave in the morning.
I'm actually pretty good at creating shelter, if that's what you're worried about.
Can you create beer?
Food and drink? Nope.
Then we have a problem.
Okay. I was just offering.
Oh, he's so cute. Poor Smoke.
All right.
Okay, well,
Do you
I
guys want me to
suppose-
meet you up tomorrow, or do you want to, we could grab a bite together?
Sure. You can join us for dinner. I will warn you, we have been eating at kind of a pricey place.
That should be okay.
Okay. I'm assuming we're eating at the inn.
Oh, of course. Did you really think I'd go somewhere else?
No. I would
I
never.
guess Rook is paying then.
That's awful nice of you.
So on board with it. Okay, yeah, I guess we can... do we need any supplies before we leave town tomorrow? Do we need to go shopping for anything?
Pointlessly. I can't really think of anything specific.
I think I'm okay. Smokey, did you need anything before we leave town?
No, I've been prepared for this mission for a while. I was just waiting on the scroll. So, I mean, whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready.
Okay, well, food and rest first, and then tomorrow morning we leave.
Okay.
Right.
I-
Yep.
I would like to send Winnie back into the Traders Guild and tell him to keep an eye on the urn and follow it if it leaves.
Okay. All right. So you tell Winnie to begin to try and do a little bit of a surveillance of the actual urn. Go ahead and make a perception check for Winnie, as you now have to kind of let him rediscover where the urn has gone, since you had a little bit of a gap time between Lulu and Stormbrow.
Okay. That's a 13 plus perception.
I believe it's a +2 or plus.
I thought I had it as +3. No,
+3.
+2. Just
Plus
kidding.
2. All right. So, yes, Winnie is able to spot it. It is a very large urn for the most part, and you can tell that most people, when they move it, it's a very noticeable kind of task, as it is a very large and just massive piece. But you do see that Winnie is able to slowly begin to follow it as he keeps an eye on it. Are you looking through his eyes and telepathically controlling him, or are you just letting him go on his own?
I'm giving him the order to follow the urn and to sit outside the house that it goes into, and I'll just occasionally check in on him because I
Okay.
still want to be like walk and stuff. I just
All
check
right.
in.
Sounds good. Okay, so Winnie is going to go and start his own little adventure, but the rest of you head out to the main square and just take a quick turn to the left, as you can see once more the Golden Lily Inn right there, smack dab in the heart of Riverran. You go straight towards the door and once more see just behind the counter a very perky and happy looking little gnome, as you all recognize Sippy, just currently seeming to be doing a few bits of paperwork here and there. You can tell she looks to be rather bored, but when you all pop back in, she perks up and goes, "Hi, everybody!
Oh, Cindy!
I'm so happy to see you!" She once more pops down and moves around as you see her kind of giving a little hand up to try and shake everyone. "It's so good to see everyone again. Are you staying the night once more?"
Oh, of course, and we have one more friend with us, too.
Hello. My name is Sippy. I am the current owner of the Golden Lily. It's nice to meet you, Mr.
Mr. Smokey.
Smokey. Oh, I like that name. It's so great. Well, please, would you all like the same rooms as before?
If there's no available, that would be lovely.
And would you like to be with them, Smokey, a separate room?
The cat can bunk with me.
Yes, I think that would be lovely. That would work out best.
Okay.
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 Okay, sure. However you want to do it, I have no objections. But please, of course, if you would like, you can retire. But I would recommend that you should probably wait for dinner. It's about to start in the next. Oh, she looks out the window, kind of gauging. Oh, it should be ready in the next hour, if you'd like. We have a very good selection tonight. I'm very happy for it. Would you like to try some? It's great. It's lamb.
Ham? Did you say ham?
Lamb, it's lamb. The chef is going to be making a full 3-course meal with lamb. Oh, I love lamb personally. It's my
You
favorite.
sold me at food.
Okay, well, great. So, if you'd like, you can join us in the dining hall at, in the next hour or so. You can freshen up if you like, get out of that armor of yours if it's a little uncomfortable.
Where is that hot spring pool thing that I was in last time?
Oh, it's just down the hallway there to the left, and you can see about 2 doors down, you'll find the entrance into the hot springs.
I am already walking away, stripping off my armor and clothing as I walk.
Please put your armor in your room if you can. Oh,
My friends will do it for me!
Okay. She kind of said,
Right, well, Smokey, that's on you since you were staying with him. I must get a bath.
I will help Smokey feather up Barkesh's armor.
You see that Sippy is willing to help you too, as you all basically need your keys given back to you to go into the room, since you didn't keep it for the second night. So you see her bringing up the 3 keys and once more unlocking each of the doors for you to go in and store your gear inside. Rook, did you go upstairs, or did you just head straight to the spa? Or the
I actually went upstairs again.
Okay.
Remember, I must do my pre-freshening up before I go and actually
Right.
go into the public.
So once more requesting from Sippy to bring up a fresh bucket of water to supply your little basin in the room with. She once more does this for you, allowing you to freshen up quickly and get yourself a little bit clean before you head down to the hot springs. Valindra, you're able to, as Sippy opens up the door, the larger door for Varkesh's room, you're able to put his armor pieces in there with Smokey in tow, also clunking them down and around the room.
Thank you, Sippy. I'm sorry that you had to clean up after him. I think it's sort of going to be a constant chore.
Oh, I guess. It might be worth it, though, to have you here again. I really enjoyed your company last time.
Oh, and we enjoyed your company. Do you ever take a break, Sippy? And you always seem very high energy. I just want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself as well as you're taking care of us.
Oh, yes, of course. I have my own room downstairs just behind the table that I can sleep in and also be right up and early to make sure all the guests are attended to, and if in case any late night guests come in before I lock the doors and I need to open it up for them to come back in. Safety reasons and all that.
Oh, okay. Yes, of course. So you're the owner. Did you establish this place yourself?
No. The Golden Lily has been, it's been part of the family's, I have a very big family. They like to set roots all over Florin, but I'm currently the one who has taken ownership of the most recently built in the Golden Lily here in Riverrun. There's a Golden Lily in Bylok, in Trilek, and Alniel. Each one is operated by either my father and mother, my two brothers, and my sister. They each have it on their own to be, to take care of, to decorate it as they like. They have their own tastes and fashions. I'll tell you, my brothers are a little, they're a little dark, but it's fine, because I have mine, my Golden Lily, as you see her just kind of widen her hands around as she just goes, it's been a wonderful dream.
Do I know of the Golden Lily and Alniel?
Make a history check. Yes, you actually do know. The Golden Lily in Alniel actually is a very renowned inn because not only does it cater to the lesser races, it is actually on the border wall between the districts that go from the humanoids to the dragons, and the brass and copper dragons have been known to visit the Golden Lily Inn occasionally, along with any of their kin that come in a more suitable form. They will usually meet up at these specific inns as kind of almost like a recognizable trademarked association that each one of them can say, we'll meet at the Golden Lily, we'll meet at the Golden Lily. It's kind of like a little kind of aristocratic symbol. But yes, and you've never been inside of it before, but you do know just from the exterior, the one in Alniel is actually covered in what you can tell is either gold paint or gold leafing, where a lot of the accented metal works and pieces around the the windows and the doors all seem to have this glittering shimmer, trying to bring up a very wealthy and prestigious looking inn for all the people who have the coin to come and stay.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've actually heard of the Golden Alniel. I did not know it was the same chain. Well, you're doing a absolutely wonderful job. Thank you again so much for being excellent.
Oh, thank you.
Really?
I try. I really do. I have such a big name to live up to. The Golden Lily has been in our family for almost 300 years. But
oh wow,
I've only been here for about I think it's been 24 or so years in Riverrun. Not that long, but long enough for me, and it's been mine ever since.
Well, thank you so much. I'm actually going to rest a little bit in my room, but thank you again for helping bring up the armor, and congratulations, buddy.
My pleasure, thank you.
Making the family name proud.
I thank you. If you do need anything at all, please come down and ask. I will be happy to help.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
My pleasure. She just begins to skip away back down the stairs. Varkash, you are once more seated into the hot tub, hot springs. Did you were able to go left or right? Do you know which one you went to?
I'm going to go right.
Okay, so by going to the right, you're fine. You enter what appears to be a slightly busy, a spring. Ooh, we have a subscriber! Thank you!
Thanks.
But we do have, off to the right, what appears to be the correct spring for you, the men's side, as you walked in and you were able to see a few of your fellow males going about and continuing to enjoy the springs. Okay. Well, I can't say man because there are quite a few. You can see that there are many different types of races. You do see what appears to be a tiefling, a pureblood tiefling at that, with bright red skin and curving horns just up to the back. You can see that his physique is a little bit more lean, but certainly not malnutrition. There's a lot of muscle and a bit of like that kind of grace to his form. It's hard to tell what his career choice might be, but you can tell he's certainly no softy. However, that is in complete contrast to the second male that you do see, and this one happens to be a very jolly-looking fellow. You can tell that the rolls around his belly are a little extra than usual, having enjoyed what appears to be more than his fair share of the desserts and other delicious foods. It is a human, but you can tell that he does have what appears to be a slight amount of hair on him, and he is enjoying the hot tub, just soaking in his own little corner. You can tell that he is also slightly reaching around to the back, and he pulls out what appears to be a small little pastry that he starts to chew and nibble on, and he just once more, occasionally every 30 seconds or so, he reaches around somewhere behind someplace. It looks to be like a little rock. And he pulls out another little pastry and begins to nibble on it continuously. You see there's a little pattern for him.
Pastries in a bath? Okay. I mean, all I wanted to do was have a bath. Now this is 50 Shades of Varkash going on in here, apparently. I'm going to go for a bath and ignore everyone who is naked, because all I wanted to do was bath. And I drop into the water.
Yeah, you're dropping in, and as you do, the water level goes up quite a bit. And as you can see, everyone, well, the two individuals do notice you quite. They're very like they turn to look and see your presence once more. Just kind of shuffle into the hot tub. The jolly fellow doesn't really seem to mind, and he just kind of does a little bit of a shrug as he pleasantly continues to smile and nibble on his pastries. The tiefling does seem to have a bit more of a wariness. You seem to have a bit of a presence and a stature that does not necessarily mean threatening, but it certainly is imposing, and he does take note of that.
Please don't take note of anything while I'm in the bath.
But yes, you soak for a little bit, enjoying the steam and the hot water, as eventually Rook once more joins you, and you can choose to sit where you like, Rook, of course, but you also attend Varkash. You go and attend with Varkash. But yes, Valindra, are you also choosing to freshen up before dinner?
Sort of. So I did want to talk to Smokey a little bit. So, you're rooming with Varkash.
Yeah.
I just want to warn you, he can be a little much. Always. Actually, strike that. He's always a lot much. So I just sort of wanted to warn you what you were getting in for, because that's going to be an experience. So if you would rather have your own room, I would totally understand and respect that. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a warning. Because you seem kind of like a jumpy, jittery fellow, and Varkash can be very loud, very spontaneously. So.
Well, I actually have I can make a little partition in the room, and I think that would do it.
Barricades won't work against me.
Varkash does respect privacy and personal boundaries.
Who said that?
Oh, right. Good. This will go very well. Okay, well, they're down in the bath. I don't know if you want to freshen up. I'm going to go to my room and just sort of, freshen up down there, and I'll meet you for dinner, I guess.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. I'm going to go to my room. I'm just going to, because we have, personal water basins, right?
You do. You have little porcelain pitchers on top of bowls, but the water is not provided in there. You have to ask for Sippy to bring it up.
Okay. Well, I'll go to my room and check on Winnie, see what he's up to.
Okay. So while Winnie is going about, please roll for me a d20. Okay.
8?
So, as you go and sit down to check up on Winnie, you let your eyes phase out of your senses and extend out. With your Pact of the Chain warlock abilities, you're able to invoke the extreme extension of tying into your familiar as you search and eventually lock on to his senses. When you look through Winnie's eyes, it's very odd for you. You suddenly look at what appears to be a very roughly woven brown fabric in front of Winnie's face, and as you can kind of see, Winnie looks to be tossing and jostling inside what appears to be a sack.
God. God. Why?
Just so you know, your d20 was your stealth check for Winnie.
Jeez. Oh, well, I do get to add 3 to that if that changes anything.
I double-checked to make sure.
Okay. God. Okay, I will poof Winnie back to me, and then poof him back out of the Shadow Realm,
Okay.
and just ask him if he wants to go for a walk, and we can see where the urn last was, and I would just follow him to where he last saw it.
Okay, you can telepathically communicate with him, so he can convey images of what happened to him.
I knew that. I would just do that instead.
Okay, so
I was just testing the DM.
so
Exactly.
as you once more take Winnie out of the material, but basically you kind of focus and he melts into shadow, and the shadow begins to seep out of the bag as if it kind of falls down.
If I can communicate with him,
Oh,
can I just do that where he is?
yes, you can absolutely do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'll
while
do
Winnie
that
is
now.
trapped in the sack, he's
I
able
don't wanna
to telepathically communicate with you the small little sequence of events that he was able to go when he was trying to find the urn. When he was able to keep track of it, he followed what appeared to be a clerk downstairs into what appeared to be a maze-like kind of corridor that seemed to have multitudes of doors and pillars all about, that it seemed to know exactly where to go, and Winnie was doing his best to keep track of it. However, when Winnie made around a corner to one of the doors as it was being brought into a storage room, Winnie was suddenly caught and grabbed by the tail by some rough individual, and as it was being looked at, he was stuffed in a bag real quick and tied up, and has been that way for about a good 30 minutes to an hour. It's hard to tell. He doesn't know time, but he does know it's been a while.
Oh, but poor baby. Oh yeah, I'll poof him back.
All right, and then you once more turn him back into the shadow that is basically your own shadow, just embodying it to him as he melts through the bag and just seeps down and begins to move at lightning speed. This black inky shadow just darts from shadow to shadow, from building to building, and eventually comes right back to you as you look down at your feet and you see the shadow zip onto you, and you once more have it cast on the ground.
I'm just gonna bend down and pat my shadow.
Okay.
I'm sorry, buddy. It's been a rough day. Okay. Well, that was worth a try. And then I guess I'll go wash up in my own bath area.
Okay, so you ask for Sippy to bring you some water.
Yes.
Alright, it's no trouble for her at all. She seems to be very eager as she once more brings up another bucket of nice hot water, putting it into the actual pitcher and leaving you there to wash your hands, face, hair, anything you like in your own private room.
Sippy, I did have, we were exploring the town a little bit today, and I overheard a name that I thought was really interesting. Obviously, a fake name, but, I thought it was intriguing. Do you know of a Mr. Tallwood?
Tallwood? Well, it's a silly name. Tallwood. No, I don't know anyone who uses that name. Anyone who comes here, they just give me their name, not a pseudonym or anything like that. No, why do you ask? Who is this Tallwood? Tallwood.
I don't know. That's a very good question. I just sort of heard the name. I thought maybe it was some sort of local legend, some sort of maybe story floating around with it, something like that. It's not important. I'll just I'll just thank you for the water. I was just wondering if you knew anything.
Yes, of course, sure. I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Yes, please do.
Okay, I'll do that. And she once more kind of goes out the door and just kind of gives you a last minute like wink, and then scurries down back to the desk.
I'll wash up in my room and then go to.
Okay. So Smokey, are you also just cleaning up and refreshing yourselves in Varkesh's room, or?
Yeah, so I will be in Varkesh's room, and I will take the time to cast Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum on what I consider to be my half of the room. I put all of his armor down on one side on one bed, and then, like, probably the far side away from the door, I'll just create the entire half of the room as my sanctum, and I will just make it opaque, so it just looks like this gray cube.
Okay, so the room itself is not that big, because the radius of that is 15 feet, isn't it?
I can be up as small as 5 by 5 feet.
Oh, you can actually adjust its size. All right, perfectly fine. How big do you want it to be? The room is about, from what you can tell, a good 10 or 15 feet somewhat in length with a bit more in the width. Probably
Honestly,
about a good, like,
if
60.
you can just get, like, his bed, that'll be plenty for him.
Well, there's only one bed in this room.
He'll choose a corner.
Okay.
Just like that.
Oh my god.
All right, so you make a little opaque corner. Any color in particular you'd like it to be?
Just dull gray, like storm clouds.
Okay. As you go ahead and you make it a dull gray, you leave a nice little dome here, and then what would you like to do? Stay in your dome?
No, I will actually freshen up a little bit, and I'll go down to the hot springs as well.
As you step past your barrier, whoop, it falls down.
This is private sanctum. This isn't the hut.
Oh, it's not the hut. Oh, private. Okay. That would explain why I was just like, this is so weird. Okay. Then yes, you can leave the private sanctum there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've got your private sanctum, a little key.
Yep, and I leave my backpack there, except for the clothes on my back.
Okay, all right, yeah, you just leave your equipment behind, but keeping on your.
Yep. And I'll just go on down.
All right. Yes. So Varkesh and Rook, after you both enjoy the tub for a little bit, you do see that the jolly gentleman does get out a little bit beforehand and seems to be eager and ready to dress and get ready for the dinner. As he then immediately makes his way to the dining hall. Each of you can choose to, how long you wish to stay in there and soak and enjoy the springs. But if you feel refreshed and good, you can make your way to the dining hall.
These towels are far too small.
No, Varkesh, you're just far too large.
I mean, if you want, I can help dry you off. He just waves his hand and a patch of you suddenly comes dry.
As you see a tiny little kitty head peeking around the corner.
I don't know what to say.
I mean, thank you.
Sure. Could you do my back?
Yeah. Just turn around. I gotta be able to see.
Okay. La 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 la.
Yeah. So he'll just do like little, and Rook, you see that as he casts magic, his fur, it was all little tufts before, but it seems to almost shimmer and become almost like smoke fire, like a candle, as he casts magic.
Cool.
Yeah, you do see that he does these little hot air tricks, just little puffs of water just vaporizing off of Varkesh, drying him off with precipitation.
Ooh, I feel dry. But I just realized now I have no clothes. So...
I realized that about when I walked in.
I didn't think my plan through. Well, shit.
Well, Varkesh, did you have your bag with you? I think you keep it.
No, I kind of dropped everything on the floor in transit. Oops.
He does have a towel.
It's fine. I will put the towel around, obviously, my nether regions, and I will make my way up to my room.
Okay.
There's one thing never mind.
No, it's not your fault. It's totally mine. I didn't think that plan through.
You do make it to your room. Smokey, the key was left in the socket. Do you have the key? Did you give it to Varkesh, or did you leave it there?
I would definitely carry it with me.
All right. Do you want to give the key to Varkesh?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So you give the key to Varkesh, allowing him access to the room. Varkesh, you enter inside, noticing that the room is slightly different, as there appears to be a gray protrusion in the right corner of the room.
Good job! Oh. It's magic, I suppose. I'll be fine.
So you go about redressing yourself into a more comfortable attire as you make yourself suitable to go down for dinner.
And I shall proceed down the steps to where everyone shall be eating.
Yeah, and Rook, I'm assuming you're joining as well. Rook, Cody?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
okay, good. All right, so yes, you all return to the very familiar dining hall that you had breakfast just this day, and you see that the little booth in the back is right there for you, and you all once more assume the positions with the three of you sitting inside and Varkesh on the outside, basically doing a nice kind of body block for the whole table. And you can see that there are a few individuals already setting themselves up at the tables. The jolly individual that you noticed before, Varkesh, is also continuing to what appears to be pull out small little snack items. They look to be nuts now, that he just kind of puts them between his lips and just starts to nibble on them, waiting expectantly for the dinner to arrive. You see that as you all settle down for a moment, Sippy eventually comes and does a few rounds around the tables, eventually spotting you as she kind of scurries over and goes, I'm so glad you made it. So, would you like to have the chef's special today? It's the lamb. It's really good.
Yes, please, that'd be wonderful.
Okay, great. So one special for you, and for you, ma'am?
Yes. Sure, the special.
And,
Sure.
And for the feline?
Special, please.
Okay, and for you, Varkesh?
I will only cover one for you, Varkesh.
I will have one special. But may I make a mess? May I have many napkins, please?
Oh, well, actually, we wanted to ask you about that. We noticed that some of the napkins were missing. Did you take them with you?
That was my brother. He's dead now, and I'm afraid you will not get those napkins back.
Make a deception check.
Shit.
What did you think was gonna happen? This is D&D.
I would have expected a straight.
Fail me now! Oh shit!
She
He
kind
said I
of
have advantage.
she kind of looks at you for a moment and goes, You're funny! And she kind of taps you on the side and goes,
Ah, yes. I'm her.
No, I get it. It's a joke. No, but yes, we do need the napkins back. Could you please get them back to us?
I don't have them anymore.
Where'd they go?
Well, they're gone. I lost them when we were out.
Oh. Okay, well,
I
we'll
am
just...
sorry.
That's okay. We'll just take them from your tab. It's just a bit more,
His
hustle.
dad,
Yeah.
the bird.
Well,
I am not paying for your napkins.
Of course you are.
Run yours.
Out of the meal.
That's a pretty good argument, actually.
Well, but he's
Oh,
not.
it's not. It's a
eating
terrible
them.
argument. He doesn't eat the napkins. They're there to clean up the mess that he made.
I never made a mess. Actually, okay, fine. I did make a mess. But not with food. With the beer, I made a mess.
For cash this time, the spell I used can also clean things up, so you don't need napkins at all.
We need magical cats following us all the time. Who needs napkins?
You know, he's not a catch-all solution.
Hey.
I ready Sacred Flame.
but yes, you do see that Sippy just kind of just knows that she'll just add it to your tab. She kind of just lets it pass over the side, but she does say, but might I interrupt real quick? Would you like to have some wine with your meal? There's a really good red that the chef recommends to have with it, and I, for one, agree.
Oh, well, I can't pass down such a glowing suggestion as your own.
I'll just have milk, please.
Oh, okay. Would you like it warm or cold?
Cold's fine.
Okay, I can do that. And for you, Varkesh, do I need to get more than one glass?
I just look at Rook try to surprise him. I will have the smallest glass of wine. Oh, shit, I can't lie. Lots of beer.
Oh, you prefer some ale?
Yes,
Okay, I can
very
do that.
much so.
Sure. Let's just give me a moment. And you see her kind of move off to the end as she goes into the kitchen, maybe waiting about another 5 minutes before she brings out what appears to be 2 glasses of red, 1 tiny glass of what appears to be nice cold milk, and then a wooden mug that is filled to the top with ale. She goes, okay, if you don't mind, this will be about maybe, another, I think maybe 10 minutes or so. We should have your food ready for you. Just please bear with us for the moment, as she heads on out and continues to go to each table individually, one by one, and tries to cater to the guests. You can see that as she's doing this, more of them start to file in as all the tables begin to fill up. You can see that either just through the chef's skill in his culinary art, or perhaps because of Sippy's just very hospital attendance, she has basically garnered a lot of people to come almost as regulars to this establishment for dinner, breakfast, lunch, and all the various meals of the day. And you can even see some of the very familiar figures that you had seen earlier when you had your breakfast event. And
Many of them giving Varkesh dirty looks.
many of them are easily, looking over to you. You can tell that they are just like whispering and gossiping, pointing your direction, mostly at Varkesh, but they do seem to just kind of once more begin to make some dialogue about the party in the corner.
Why are you giving me the evil 4 eyes? 4 eyes?
What do you mean?
You're glaring at me. What have I done?
I was looking past you, Varkesh. I thought these people were just coming
You
in.
can't look past me. It's physically impossible to look past me.
Oh,
You pointedly lean over to look past them and the people behind them, and then just...
And I just lean to intercept his vision.
oh God.
Told you.
Well, no, but seriously, there aren't a lot of people looking at our table. Are you guys like a really big deal adventurers or something? Or
I like to think so.
Have you seen me? I am magnetic. Of course everybody's looking at us.
I throw a spoon at him to see if it sticks. Nope.
It does not, yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a you before.
He thinks you're a
I'm one of a kind.
lady goat.
Well, so I mean, I assume a little Kenku, right? But I mean,
Partially. My mother is a thief.
oh, okay. So are you two related? Pointing to.
Nope. No. No, I don't have any.
Something about my mother.
I wasn't implying anything about your mother. I'm sure she's very
Not you. Smokey, what are you implying about my mother?
Oh.
that you both have tiefling blood, and since you're traveling together, you may be distantly related.
I just look to the two of them going, are you?
No, we're not, Marrakesh. Rook, though, that is interesting. You said, so you're the only one of your kind, so you don't have any brothers or sisters?
No. No.
Awfully lonely.
Oh, I had a family of sorts around at all times. It really isn't nearly so lonely as it sounds.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. My parents are different races too. My dad was a Fire Ganassi and mom was a Tabaxi.
That
What?
explains the actual smoke coming off of your fur earlier. That was very fascinating, by the way. Has it always been that way?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, watch this. And he just goes,
Oh, not, no.
That is
and you see what looks like a hot live coal come out of his mouth.
Let him continue.
And,
This is dinner theater.
and he produce flame cantrip by coughing up a hairball.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
As you see him go, he just coughs up this little flaming hairball, and you start to realize that the tablecloth is catching on fire.
Oh, just
Oh no.
As you all
It's out.
just
It's out.
quickly pat it down. Yeah, there's a little
maybe
bit of
just-
black singe now.
Prestidigitation.
You notice this is more damage than dirt as you try to prestidigitate. As you can see that now it's less black, but there's quite a noticeable degradation to the fabric.
Moving the plate.
Yes, the plate on top. Hiding your tracks rather successfully. But yes, you
Maybe
do.
it's not at the table.
You do cover it up just in time as you can see what appears to be the waiters coming around providing the first course. Each of you being given the same plate as you all are seeing them put them down in front of you. You see that it is a nice selection of what appears to be almost these little fine, very almost paper-like slips of lamb that have just been like laid out and rolled into a nice little pattern like a flower, almost around the entire plate, with what appears to be in the center a large, looks like a fruit to some kind of degree, but you can see that it's been cooked and almost singed to the point that it has a slight crispy and crunchy exterior, but as you break it open on the inside, you see a large amount of red juice just kind of pouring out and seeping around the entire plate and kind of giving each of these little slices of meat an extra, almost kind of like a bittersweet accent to it as you kind of enjoy the first course. But you can tell that there is a great deal of effort and trouble put into these dishes. And Sippy eventually comes around after all of you have eaten it, and it is quite delicious. And she does seem to look at you and go, "How was the first course? Did you like it? Was it good? Please tell me it was good."
It was fantastic. Of
It
course.
was very good.
I knew it. I knew you would like it. Oh, now, we'll be able to bring the second one to you right away. Now, please remember, of course, the chef is enjoying the lamb tonight, so most everything will be lamb-based. So, but please, by all means, I'll be right back with the second course. As she pulls out all the plates from in front of you, and then she stops and goes, Oh, I'm terribly sorry. And she kind of looks down at this clock and goes, I didn't know it was so ruined. Oh, please excuse
No,
me.
it's okay, Sippy. It's
It was the
totally
bird.
No, you don't
No.
understand. This is the golden lily. I can't have this. Oh, please excuse
Brooke,
me.
how could you? You made her cry.
I grab the gnome and give her a big ol' fuzzy hug.
Well, she's
Just pat her. It's
Kinda,
okay.
like, stuck in
It's
the middle
okay.
of the muffle.
It's calm. We're being calm with deep breaths.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. Okay, you try, and for the most part, you see that it just goes mostly to
Probably can't
a
breathe.
flailing kind of thing, and it's just kind of more or less a kerfuffle. It's just not really going anywhere. She's just like panicking before she eventually pushes you and goes, "Oh, I'm just so sorry. I tried to run a respectable inn. I'm so sorry." And she immediately runs to the kitchen and kind of does her own little crying sob moment.
I will then touch the cloth and then cast mend.
Rakesh, you are such an ass.
Okay. So you begin to cast the mending spell as it eventually, after a minute, begins to reseal itself.
It only dawned on me that I could do that.
Just like how it only dawned on you after Valendra and I went and hunted a very large beast that you could create food the entire time.
I mean, it's not like real food. It's like tofu. It's horrid and it's not real food.
That's like actually a really good point. You really should be better about remembering what you can do.
I've not been a cleric for too long.
This is true. He did say that.
I mean,
I will
wrote
endeavor.
stuff down to help me remember.
I mean, I don't carry parchment and quill on me all the time, but I will promise to endeavor to remember useful things before bad things happen.
As long as you're trying, that's all we can ask.
As you do eventually have this repaired and talk amongst yourselves, you do see waiters coming around and once more dropping plates in front of each of you. This time you can see that it looks to be a nice set of lamb chops just moved into like a nice kind of little pyramid in front of each other with a nice selection of greens that seem to be coating around the edges of the plate with looks to be like a nice drizzle of some dressing, a dark kind of flavor that you can see that as you enjoy it, it's a very savory and slightly salty kind of mixture, and you can tell that this is definitely really letting you enjoy the flavor of the lamb as it's been slightly seared on the edges, giving that little bit of crunch before you find that moisture just kind of seeping all over. It's a beautiful sensation. It makes you feel warm, and it gives you that sense of home and family, and you all begin to kind of relax a little bit more as this meal kind of does its job of just making you feel at ease. But as you all finish up your meal, you do see that the waiter comes by and starts to pull the plates away, and Sippy does not come out.
Is Sippy okay?
You do see that this waiter stops and goes, Madame, as you not know, I shall check on her. A moment, please. As he walks around.
Tell her tablecloth is fine.
I shall do so. And
Tell her it's actually fixed. That's
very, very well.
Question for the DM. What's the foot traffic like around the table?
Well, there's not much foot traffic around the table, but if you mean like the general atmosphere, or what are you looking at?
Well, because my tail.
Oh, your tail's fine. Your tail is very easily avoided, as many people notice that large, thick slab of flesh, and they just kind of do a lot of step-overs and around. They give it a wide berth.
Okay. That's
Unless
good.
you are intentionally trying to trip anyone.
No.
Okay. No, but yes, you do see that eventually the waiter does go to the kitchen, and you wait for a moment before eventually Sippy does kind of come back out and look over and around. She goes, I'm sorry. I just get so emotional. I need everything to be perfect. There's standards that my family has, and if I don't keep them, I'm sorry. And she kind of,
Sippy, I must say, I've only been here 2 days, but everything has been perfect. This whole blemish on a tablecloth is nothing.
really?
Yes.
You're not just saying that.
I think you've been too stressed. I think you're seeing things. This table is perfectly fine.
She does look down and goes, huh? But there was a it was a hole. It was like it was frayed. It was
My dear, I am a cleric, and I can tell you are physically exhausted. I recommend that you go sit down for a day and drink a lot.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I've worked too hard.
I am always right.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please, let me send something around to show you my appreciation and my apologies for all this mess.
No need.
No, I insist. I made such a scene. I will be able to give you something nice and sweet after your meal. Please, just enjoy the rest of your time. I'm going to go to my room real quick. I'm so sorry.
You didn't do anything wrong. I mean, if you really want to give us something, I would like another napkin.
I'll get you one. As she once more walks into the kitchen and brings out a long napkin and hands it to you.
Thank you. Just stuffs it inside my plate. Chest.
Happy to help. As she goes back out the door and leaves the dining hall, heading to her room to collect herself and to take a little bit of some one-on-one time. But you do see that as she exits, you all are once more presented with what appears to be the final course. This one looks to be almost a bit of a mixture of, you can assume is lamb, but there's something else on the plate. Go ahead and make a intelligence check for me.
All of us?
All of you. Well, anyone who wants to discern what this is, or anyone who just doesn't really think or smell what they do before they put it in their mouth.
Dirty 20.
Okay. That's a save, though. Is your save the same modifier?
It's a, so I'll be 17.
Okay. Alright, so, Valindra and Smokey, you're able to recognize this. You can see that the lamb itself there actually isn't really lamb, and the other bits of it around it aren't really a meat either. You can see what appears to be almost like a masquerade version of it. You can see what appears to be almost like a beet-like vegetable that seems to have been made into the little pattern that has like a bit of like the browning on the edges, and you can see that the inside is a dark, deep red. But as you kind of take it in a little bit, you recognize this is a very sweet fruit. It's one that usually grows a bit more in the north in Ravenwood, and when anyone usually brings it, they call it the blood fruit. But thankfully, you do know that this is a very delectable delicacy, that anyone who usually has one finds it to be the best they've ever had. And you immediately kind of start to eat it without any hesitation. The rest of them kind of a little curious as to your almost kind of like your energized vigor to kind of consume this, but when you do get that sweet sensation, but you also get a slight euphoria brought to you. There's a teeny bit of some kind of intoxication with this fruit, and as you start to devour it, you begin to kind of get a little bit of that hallucinatory high. It just kind of makes the world get a little bit brighter, colors start to become more vibrant, and as you enjoy this kind of dessert, you can start to really taste that there are subtle flavors in there, as bits of the pieces on the edge were made with like a almost kind of like a caramelized lamb onto the edge, a bit with some sugar and some glazing, and you get to also, your tongue now suddenly takes all the flavors of the meal that you've had before, and everything kind of comes back with an extra kick, and there's like now suddenly an aftertaste that comes from the meal that's just like sparks. And you are just like in the thrill moment. The chef knew how to do a coup de grace, and as you all kind of sit there just kind of dazed for a moment, you see the waiters quickly take your plates, but then drop down what appears to be a small slice of what looks to be like a tiny little lemon cake just around the edge. All for everyone.
It just one whole just mouthful is gone.
Varkesh, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
It's a bit of cake.
It is
What's
a bit
wrong?
You just had a
Very
very
solid.
interesting dessert, and Sippy did not realize what the chef was doing. So when she gave you lemon cake,
Did the chef just roofie me with lemon cake?
no.
Rook would probably just down it without question too.
Yeah, so
because-
go ahead and make a con
I'll
saving
take
throw.
action if you-
Hey, anyone who just eats it immediately, make a con save.
on
I mean, I'm gonna eat it, but like one bite at a time.
You can make your con save with advantage, Belinda. If you just...
Fine.
Okay, so Varkesh, you're fine. Smokey and Valindra, of course, with her nat 20s all over the place. Yes, so Smokey and Rook, when you start to eat the cake, you suddenly realize that as you start biting down on it, your taste buds are way, way over on the overdrive. They are just like hypersensitive, and as you kind of take the tart of the lemon, it just immediately makes you go. As you just kind of like, you immediately start to kind of like pucker a little bit, and you start to go. Just it's a little too much. And you just kind of look for
How does that-
anything.
Translates to
Milk.
bird.
Yeah, you try to kind of like, Varkesh, you realize that it's, oh, that's tart. But yeah, Valindra, you kind of are just like wussies. Just
Oh,
kind of
this is
continue.
delightful.
Feathers fully puffed, dipping my nose straight into the wine.
I mean, you try. The wine doesn't do a great job of it, but I mean, it's a very
Like one of those
noticeable.
office dunking
I
buts.
try. It doesn't succeed, but I try.
But you do realize that you kind of just go, just a little bit of like that extra tongue thing you weren't expecting, but you're just like, trying to get that back to it. However, now that you've all indulged in this dessert, make a perception check for me. Okay. You all notice this. As you begin to look up into the air and kind of do a little daze around, you notice that there's a slight, almost kind of like an aura, a residual effect that as you turn and see, it's almost like a pheromone trail line that leads you towards the other people around the dining hall. It's almost as if you can actually sense them. It's like a sense of feeling like you can smell and visually detect their presence. You realize that as you've eaten this fruit, you suddenly have almost like bloodhound abilities. You can now perceive and track things way more efficiently than you've ever been able to before. The world has now kind of like opened up to you.
Whoa, man. Far out.
Things are different. I don't know if I like it.
I need to get more of this.
Yes.
Just like zoning out.
Yeah, Smokey's gonna try and
It's
wipe blood off his tongue.
And I'm
Oh yeah, you're
breathing when you feel like you've moved too much and like, okay.
But yes, you do start to notice that there is some kind of sensitivity now that's been implanted in you to now detect all the different things that people and creatures start to exude when they just sit naturally. Their smells, their heat,
Yeah, that would definitely be useful to have every now and then. Not right now in people, but it'd be nice to have on the road every now and then.
I think I'm going back to my room. And stand up, he's gonna go off to his room.
Okay, you once more kind of begin to scuttle your way back to your room as your little puff body just kind of makes its way quickly out. You do see that all the individuals around the table do stand up after they finished, occasionally just basking in this similar experience of euphoria that you're all sharing right now.
Went from a bistro to an opium den in like 10 minutes.
But yes,
Real tasty opium, though, just saying.
but you all find that your dinner is very satisfactory, and you each return to your rooms feeling that lingering high that doesn't seem to go away for quite a while.
I will go to my room, and I will gather the rest of my things, put them on, and I will look towards Smokey and go,
Smokey is probably in the cube right now.
Yeah, you see just a 5x5 cube of storm gray clouds.
would I have known that he went, because earlier on he said that he went to his room, went to the room.
You do know that you were supposed to share a room with him, and he did go off to his room, well, your room, but when you entered, he's nowhere to be found.
Then Varkash will take a clawed finger and carve into the wall a note for Smokey.
Oh god, no.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
When Smokey can't see out of the bubble, so he's like, "Yeah, what are you doing?"
Well,
You just
I was
head
about
poke him out of the cube.
I was about to leave a dear kitten note, but
I mean, you can just knock.
I just go over and just knock right next to us.
I mean, it's a very interesting experience. You knock on this cube, and you just see this little head just poking out. So it's just this disembodied head.
Is there something you needed?
Yes, I was going to say, I'm not going to be sleeping in here. You can have the bed.
Oh, okay.
See, everyone thinks that Varkash is going to do something crazy. But no, I'm just being nice. And with that, I'll grab my things and I will proceed to go back downstairs and leave the inn.
Oh, all right.
Where are you going, Scott?
Secrets! Secrets of mine!
So you head out of the inn. As you start to head out, you do see that Sippy is back at the counter. She does see you and she goes, Oh, Varkash, are you heading out?
Yes. I'm going to perform a little errand, but I do have a question for you. Sippy, by chance, during your time, your ownership of this fine establishment, have you ever come across a band of Ne'er-do-Wellic barbarian types?
No. I don't have any of those here, no.
Gracious,
no.
Sorry, I just thought I'd ask. Count yourself lucky.
Well, I do, but please, if you are heading out, make sure to come back in no more than a couple hours. I lock the door to make sure that no one comes in after dark. I like to make sure that we keep the place secure at night.
Duly noted. I shall be back before the hour is out.
Oh, good. Okay, we'll see you then.
Okay, bye. And as I just do that, I just realize the time and I book out of the front door. Making sure to open the front door, I'm not barging through it.
Okay. Yeah, you out you go and into the streets. What would you like to do?
I am going to find a nice secluded place under a tree and I am going to work on the things I have been making.
Okay, so you're going to spend an hour of just working on them in private.
Yes, I'm going to open up my bag of holding and I'm going to get all my gem cutting tools out. I'm going to stick my mace into the ground, cast light, and I'm just going to work for the hour, carving the gems.
All right, you go and find a nice little secluded spot for yourself where most of the people you can tell right now are not really out and about. Most of them are retiring for the night, as many of the shops have begun to close their doors and snuff out their lights. But eventually, as you work, you are the last remaining flicker as your mace is just kind of illuminating this little pocket of your workstation. But you do, for a good full hour, tinker away at this project of yours.
Would you like me to roll the check for the gem cutting thingy?
No, you don't need a check. You're able to do it.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, no, it's easy enough as you're able to use all the skills that you have acquired throughout your many years as not only being a smith but a jeweler, and you know how to work the metals and the gems just right. And you know how to set it at a certain point where you've basically made progress without it actually, kind of leaving it.
I've got like the magnifying monocles on both eyes. It's like,
yeah, you kind of do a little bit of Maurice there with Belle, and it's like, where'd you get an idea like that? But yes, you do have a bit of bimonocles going on. But you do finish up your work as you head back to the Golden Lily, and you see Sippy is just eagerly waiting to make sure you're there. But she goes, "Oh, good, you're back," as she kind of quickly moves around and begins to lock the door behind you.
thank you for waiting. I didn't mean to keep you awake.
It's okay. I usually read at this time anyways. I just do it in bed most of the time. But I'm okay.
Excellent. The meal was delightful.
Wasn't it? I'm so happy to hear that. I usually, most people don't ever get to sample the exquisite, blood fruit. It's something that we got into store. Oh, I was so happy. I've had 2 already. Well, mind you, no, I'm not having an addiction, of course.
She's a druggie. She's a druggie.
It's a delightful treat, and we only get it occasionally. So I just had to indulge myself. But you understand, right? You had it, didn't you?
I did.
You're actually still high right now, too, by the way.
Hence why I'm talking as such.
But yes, and she just kind of goes, "It's great. But let me know if you need anything. I find that after these, I like to take something sweet and something savory, and I just start to let myself drift and let the
Those are called the
flavors."
munchies.
God.
Well, munchies,
Yes, well, you get really hungry for other things.
I guess. I never thought of it that way. But
Indeed.
you should try. I actually have a few candies that I have left in the back. Would you like me to give you one?
Actually, no, I don't really have that much of a sweet tooth.
Okay.
Specifically because his bag of holding is filled with cakes and pastries. But I would, if it's not too much of a bother, I would really appreciate it if I could have a spare pillow.
Oh, of course. See, let me. One moment, as you see her quickly go into her own room and pull out a pillow as she brings it and holds it to you. Here you go.
Oh, thank you very much. That's all. I will. Sorry to keep you from your reading. I will leave you be.
No problem. Good night, Varkash.
Good night, Sippy, and try not to handle any sharp objects while you're tripping balls.
I'll do my best. She goes back to her room.
To my room.
So, but you all do eventually settle for the night. Smokey, as you do see Varkesh come back in not only an hour, unless you had fallen asleep at that time.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I'll just place my pillow on the floor and take my armor off and just go to sleep.
The bed is still there, actually.
It is, yes. But yes, so you...
I didn't move it.
No, yeah. So you...
There's only one bed. You've got it.
So you all basically close off the night with a nice restful sleep before you wake the next day, each of you coming to at your own time, but around the same time, as you generally know that breakfast is on its way, as it begins to tickle your senses and you begin to smell the cooking eggs, the bacon, the toast. It's all kind of starting to fill the inn with its alluring aroma as you all once more come to and see that everyone has had a nice long rest. So go ahead and mark that down. You've got all your health and spell slots back. Those of you who need to meditate during this time, you can do so, of course, to get your spells arranged for the day as you like. But
I would like to observe the finger bone.
it is okay. Sure, you pull it out.
Has any markings or anything?
Go ahead and make an investigation check as you look at it.
Okay. Also trying to tell like what species it came from, maybe.
Okay.
Just kidding. It's a finger bone.
It is a finger bone. You can tell that it looks old and it looks like a bone.
Great.
Oh, cast Speak with Dead on it.
Oh, no, I was doing this in my room.
Never mind. Cuckoo. Cuckoo.
It doesn't have a mouth. Oh, oh.
But yes, so you all head down to the dining hall as you once more find your table to sit down around and have breakfast served to you. You can see that there is a general buffet laid out for you to all enjoy of just toast and jams and butter to start before eventually you see Sippy coming in.
Is there any drunk fruit?
There is no fruit in the selection. It is mostly what you would call like a it's a breakfast bread basket in a sense. So it's just toast with butter, jam, things that you can have in the meantime, so that you can all enjoy something before the main menu items come around. But Sippy comes around and goes, "Hi, did you all sleep well?"
Oh, yes, it was wonderful. Thank you for asking. How did you sleep, Sid?
I got to sleep eventually. I calmed down, had some time with me, read a good book, but I'm fine. I'm good.
That's
Is
good.
she fine? Is she good?
Make an insight check.
I'm really worried about Sydney.
Now that you've had some personal time, you will not be imagining burnt tablecloths.
You get the sense that, well, Valindra, you get the sense that Sippy she's been shaken. There is a sense that she does have a kind of little kind of haunting look in the back of her expression now, where she kind of still dwells on the thought that there was a blemish, in a sense, of her history of running the inn, where something that she had expected to be at like a 5-star quality has suddenly been like knocked down a peg, and it's never happened to her.
You did this, Connor. You did this to the sweetest NPC we have.
So sad.
I didn't do anything.
Wait over it. I don't know how she saw.
When the plate was picked up after the meal was taken away, and then she comes around the table to make sure if everyone's doing okay.
But once again, Varkesh saves the day by fixing it and then convincing her of all.
Too late to our case.
But she does look at you and goes, "I can get you the same that you had yesterday if you'd like. Would you all enjoy that lovely orange drink? My personal favorite."
Yes, so lovely.
I would like lots of bacon and eggs, please.
You can have as much bacon and eggs as you would like, Varkesh.
He
And
just
for the
puffs his
rest,
chest up and is like, thank you.
and for the rest, would you all like to have just any custom order, or would you like to have the chef's special for breakfast this morning?
Chef special worked out great last night.
There was drugs.
Unfortunately, your chef has excellent taste. I'll go with the specials.
Fucking chefs on narco.
Certainly. Special, and an extra huge helping of bacon and eggs, was it, for you, Varkesh?
Yes.
How would you like them done?
Cooked.
Well, we can do a sunny side up, we can do scrambled, we can do Benedict, we can do hard boiled. Anything like this sound good?
Wait. There's different ways to cook eggs.
God.
She kind of looks at you with disgust and goes, "Oh, my sweet, oh,
I just
I have
braced
to
against
introduce
the
you to
table.
these immediately." As she once more kind of scurries out and goes right to the kitchen as she begins to prepare you a variety of egg dishes.
I had no idea the world was such a marvelous place.
But you do eventually see that she comes back after a good after a
cooking
good 10
plates.
minutes or so. The specials are brought out to each of you. You all seem to have what appears to be a nice selection of... You could assume that these are pancakes from the way that they seem to be laid out, but they're very thin, closer to a crepe in a way. And you can see that they've been rolled up into little rolls and have kind of been like laid across in like almost like a raft of 4. And you can see that there's been like a slight kind of cream, a very fine layer of it put in there on the top. And you can see around it, it's in a sea of syrup. So it looks almost kind of like a little raft, and you can see just sticking in the center looks to be what appears to be a kind of like a sweet stick of some sort. It's kind of hard to tell what it is, but you can tell that when you kind of pick it up and use it, it kind of has a little bit of a crunch, almost like a candied bacon kind of taste to it. But you do see that you all have like a nice little kind of light breakfast to eat with a bit of sugar and cream. Varkesh, you see Sippy come out with what appears to be a selection on a large tray of what appears to be scrambled eggs with nice little herbs and spices roasted on top. Looks to be some sunny side up eggs on top of what appears to be a nice thick slices of toast. And you can see just a little bit of beans right there on the side as well. And you can see next to it what looks to be like kind of like asparagus grilled to the side with what looks to be like a nice egg right there that then has the yolk kind of broken as it seeps out and covers each of the stalks into a nice glaze.
I just grab them all and just down them like shot glasses.
Oh man, it's on a plate. You can't really shot glass them. It's like all on a single tray.
And I'll just and just tilt the whole tray.
Okay, go ahead and make for me a dexterity check.
It's gonna end out great.
This is going to be excellent.
Yeah.
You try. I mean, for the most part, you get most of them in there as you kind of do like a Homer Simpson of. You do get a
These
few.
eggs are really good.
You get a
I
few
never knew
beans.
that you could have fluffy, runny, and hard-boiled at the same. You know what? It's totally fine. It's so fine.
Thank you, Trinidad. But yes, so you do eventually get most of the eggs on inside your mouth. You do get some trailing bits just kind of going along the edges.
Running,
And you do see that napkin that you had before might be quite useful at kind of patting your lips a bit. But you do enjoy the eggs, and you do see that there is a variety of ways that you can cook an egg. And you can tell that the chef and Sippy here definitely have mastered the first step of being a good chef, which is how to cook an egg. But you
Is there
also...
bacon? There is bacon, right?
Oh, there is bacon, but you see that as the eggs are brought out to you, a large tray of what looks to be almost Lincoln log stacked bacon. You see presentation is key here, and you can see that there is about almost like a woven tapestry of bacon, 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 making a tower. It looks to be about a good 6 inches up in height, just filled with these slabs of crispy bacon made into this little woven lattice.
Just grab them all at like a burger and just...
Yeah, you just
Stop it.
bacon sandwich of bacon with bacon. You do get that lovely, satisfying crunch texture as you can smell the bacon just everywhere. It is heaven for man. It is just pure bacon.
It's all the time. Smokey's just going, before the crumbs even hit the floor.
Oh, so you see Smokey's just kind of continuing.
He's like a living bib.
But yeah, with this kind of slight OCD like attentiveness, the cat just constantly keeps the crumbs and the mess at bay.
You see he's actually smiling really big. It's almost like a game to him, like...
This is adorable.
Before the age of lasers, this is how you entrance the cats. But yes, you do see that you
Like
are...
falling bacon crumbs.
Bacon bits, yes. But you are able to enjoy your breakfast meal as you all finish up. You do see Sippy once more coming up to all of you and going, I hope everything was to your liking. Are you staying for the week? I know you came back today, but I didn't know if you weren't going to stay for long, or is it just today again?
Well, Sippy, we do have some business taking us out of town today. I don't know if we will be back, so it is probably best we pay again.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can get you your bill right away. Just wait one moment. I'll be right back. As she kind of scurries off, and once more you see her come back with a large little kind of like, almost like a wooden plaque that she then puts it right down there for you to look and see the receipt that she made out for you. You can tell that from the dinner, the rooms, and the breakfast, the total comes to 75 gold pieces.
I think all that bacon's now kicking in.
I will give Rogue 25 gold pieces.
I will get up and walk away.
Yeah, I mean, I pay it. I slip in an extra 5.
So you pay the extra 50 gold?
Well, yeah, I mean, I put down a total of 80 between the 25 that the vendor gave.
All right,
me.
so you're gonna give her a little bit of a tip. All right.
Yeah.
That's nice of you. Yes, so yeah, you put
A
it
tippy
down.
for the city.
A tippy for the sippy, yes. You do put down what appears to be a nice little a nice hefty tip, as she does take notice of it, and she kind of brims up a little bit, going, "Thank you. I'm glad that you liked everything. If there's anything I can get you, you let me know. I'll be happy to help." And she once more kind of like stuffs the coins one more into her little bag.
Of course, Sippy. This is the only place it has made me feel as if I have been actually home since I've set out. It is wonderful.
You see her just kind of go, "Oh, I'm so desperate to come here," and she kind of like
Since
brings you in and
rooks
kind of
fetch
does a
the
little hug.
nests.
I willingly give her a great big hug as big as a creepy demon crow bird can.
You see, she doesn't really notice you as a demon bird, necessarily just the horns and the bit of eyes, but she does hug you as the compliment was very much what she wants to hear, and she just kind of like enjoys and goes, "I'm so emotional. I'm sorry. But thank you. Excuse me."
Of course.
And she goes off.
Sippy, I did
Yes.
just want to assure you the burn was due to an incident caused by a party member who will remain anonymous, but
Rook!
nope, that is incorrect. But it is nothing that you did. We broke it, we fixed it. You needed to know
Oh,
that it was not on you. You have been perfect and flawless in every way.
Oh, thank you for telling me. It's been racking my head so much. I was wondering if I missed it, or if something happened and I didn't see it earlier, or if someone was hiding it. I was a little concerned that one of the waiters had actually done it, and they were just trying to keep me from knowing. And then, I was this close of going on a witch hunt. Just this close. But thank you for telling me.
You are welcome.
But what would have happened if the waiters had accidentally spilled something on a tablecloth? I mean, it's not the end of the world.
No,
It hardly matters. They've been perfect professionals.
I understand accidents can happen, but for presentation-wise, I assure that every guest, when they sit down and when they go to their rooms, it is spotless and immaculate. Now, whether or not the condition stays that way after their stay, I can understand a few trips and a few accidents, but to me, I would never seat you at a table that had such a terrible marking on the cloth. It was horrible to see that.
Okay. So I'm glad that we were able to resolve it, and everything's better.
Good. Me too. Thank you all so much. But again, if you do need anything, please don't hesitate to ask. And our doors are always open to you and your friends.
Of course. I only hope we can come back soon.
I do too. Well, I'll leave you to your mission, I guess. Best of luck with it. As she kind of scurries away back out the door and kind of gives one last look around the corner, does a little good luck wave, and then heads out.
I feel like Mom is wishing us good luck. As we leave, I'm just gonna give Brooke a weird look and be like, "Your home was like super fancy, because how did you end up running around? Because it doesn't seem kind of your thing. I've noticed you don't really like nature, which is odd for a bird, and now you come from something like that."
I think it's interesting that you judge my tastes based on my species. Shouldn't you be out in the woods, hanging out in trees all day and petting random animals? Elf?
Well, I'm gonna scratch Winnie's head.
Winnie is just curling up and going.
I probably should be doing something like that.
As you do that, Winnie kind of goes to your hand and goes, "Continue, keep doing it, keep doing it."
Okay, I'll keep doing it. But no, I mean, I wasn't, judging you. I was just saying most Kinku that I know don't have a problem with nature.
And you know many Kenku?
No, to be fair, I don't. So it's probably just the two I know. You know what? Never mind. Just forget I asked.
Well, according to the bird, I was apparently born in a swamp.
Really?
You were born in a swamp. You were born in a ritzy place.
I was not born in a damn swamp.
Where were you born?
Well, certainly know where a mountain is. He would have caused an avalanche within the first couple of days.
You lay, just like if you must know, I was born on a farm, which almost sounds almost as bad, but it wasn't. It was very nice.
What's wrong with the farm?
I don't know. I just thought I'd defend it before those two vultures decide to just swoop down and peck it to death.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being one.
It was my formative years where I was basically a farm dragon.
And where are you from, Smokey?
Oh, kind of around, been traveling for a few years now. Was raised by my grandma. So, she taught me stuff she knew. In fact, and he will actually reach around for his backpack, and he will pull out this very nice leather-bound book.
Ooh.
This is actually hers. It's the old family grimoire. And, I definitely don't know everything that's inside it right now, but I'm getting through it.
Sorry,
legacy.
A grim what?
Grimoire. It's basically a book of family magic. It's passed down through the line.
That's interesting. I've never heard of a grimoire before. Just looks like, because I'm just nothing but a common swamp dragon.
Well, obviously you can cast magic. You fix the tablecloth.
There is no end to my talents.
Oh, God.
Except apparently where it comes to breakfast foods, wherein he only knows of scrambled eggs until this morning. How did you not know there were more ways to prepare an egg having grown up on a farm?
When the chickens lay the eggs, you take the egg and you eat the egg whole. That's what you do.
No,
Nobody
that's
does
not
that.
what you do.
Wait, it's not?
No.
Well, the more you know.
Well, in any case, I think we should probably get going.
But yes, you all step out as you head towards the square before eventually turning towards one of the gates of Riverrun to head out to go looking for the missing grimoire that you have been told was taken a few days back.
That it was towards the city of Alniel, right?
Yes.
They did say it was on the road to Alniel.
Can we get there by river?
You can, if you go up a certain river, you could go and make your way to Alniel that way. It would be a little bit longer of a trek, but you could do it.
Back to the rowboat!
Well, but if they took the book by road, what if they're still on the road? We missed them.
Yes, Smokey, did they specify a mode of transport for the book in the contract?
Pretty sure it's supposed to be by land.
Then it's probably best.
Caravan, probably.
Back to the land!
But yes, so you all take a few steps and head down the road out of Riverrun to see where you can find any evidence of where this item has gone. And as we do that, we will take a short little break for our players. For any of those who do need to take their time to use the bathroom or take a little stretcher, go right ahead. I shall stay here and talk to our audience members and see how they're doing and how it's going. And we'll see you guys back whenever you get back, probably in the next 5-10 minutes.
Oh, my spine!
But yeah, head on out, you guys. And I shall go ahead and say hello to who do we have? We've got...
We're back.
We got Sarah. I can never pronounce this name right. Saradwin? Zorothar? Hello?
That's me.
Oh, that's you? Okay. So we got Saradwin. The new face that came in that I did not recognize before was Trendane. Which, hello, if you are still there, thank you for coming in and for what was it? The word sharing or restreaming. Thank you. I hope you guys are all enjoying it thus far. If you have any questions, any comments that you'd like to make, or anything you'd like to get some clarification on, please go ahead and ask. And yes, the common everyday swamp dragon that is Varkesh.
I resent that. I truly resent it.
Yes, I know, because you're blue, not black.
I'm a lightning dragon, a very powerful one, even though I can't breathe lightning.
Gosh darn shame, that is.
apparently.
I mean, a dragon that can't breathe, a dragonborn that can't breathe anything.
Well, it's all the D&D Wizards of the Coast people, because they screwed people who like Dragonborn out of liking Dragonborn because the breath weapon is so anemic.
It is a sad shame that an action doesn't give as much as it should. But what can you do?
I'm going to make a better breath weapon, I suppose.
Well, I know Varkesh is a bit of a meat lover, but I think he can at least keep
Steady phrasing.
Well, because Serdwin has said that you are we're a bunch of hams, but then Varkesh might be tempted to eat us.
Right.
However, now myself, I am wishing that I had that bacon tower sandwich.
I mean, that's something that you eat once in your entire life, and never again for fear of a cornery.
I feel like it should have some kind of like extra kind of filling in the center, so it's kind of like you take the bacon and you do this little weaving work, so it makes like a little weave on the bottom, and then you just put a layer of some kind of cream or some jam or something nice, and then you just put another layer and another layer, and it becomes like the bread. A delectable meaty dish with lots of greasy goodness.
This sounds fantastic.
I know, we should have
I
more.
only caught like the last little bit of it, honestly, but
Talking about the bacon thing.
But yes, so everyone is back. You all are good to go?
Good here.
All right, excellent. So you head out of Riverrun, following the road, heading down to the south, going towards Alniel. The road here between Alniel and Riverrun is very well made, as you can see that it is more than just a dirt-packed road. There are bits of gravel and small stone that have been scattered down the center and have kept it to a slight, nice maintenance, almost in a way. It seems to have a bit of upkeep to it, but you can tell that those that walk the road between the two are doing it with comfort. There's no bumps or stray rocks, no logs or grass or anything that kind of intrudes upon it. You feel that it's a very easy trek as you make your way, making good time as you leave Riverrun behind. But as you start to make your way down and around, you kind of begin to look to see if anything peculiar or out of the ordinary or anything that might give a hint as to where the particular bandit attack happened and where it might have gone afterwards. So for those of you who are keeping an eye out, please make for me a survival check.
Varkesh would like to sing really loudly.
God, no.
You can make your survival check with disadvantage. Because singing is more important.
naturally.
We're walking down the road. La 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 la. Everyone now, sing! Sing, damn it, sing.
I don't really know that one.
Never do I.
Oh yes, go ahead and make your survival check, Varkesh.
Survival check, because I have such amazing pipes. Gotcha. Just waiting for this thing to load. Survival!
Loading.
All right, so Varkesh, you are very much focusing on your song and trying to keep the spirits of the party up as you enjoy this kind of big, loud Dragonborn just booming out songs. Very random, they don't really make much sense, but, you know, at least he passes the time with something. For Valindra, it's a bit more of a distraction for you. You find that most of the time you're just kind of like rolling your eyes and looking back at him and just going, how the hell can this guy even continue singing? But you do see that Rook and Smokey stop for a moment as they almost kind of in sync look to the left of the road, and they can see what appears to be the slight overgrown, you could assume just broken pieces of what looks to be a cart of some sort. And as you each look down and kind of get a little bit of a closer look at the actual scene, you can see that there are what appears to be broken pieces of wheels, sides, and other just scraps of wood just thrown off to the edge, and you can tell that a majority of whatever was in this cart looks to have been taken away, but you can tell that just where you are right now, something happened here to cause the cart to go tumbling off to the side of the road.
Hey guys, I think there was an accident. I think we're gonna go check it out.
It certainly bears a look over, but do be careful. I'd like to put my hood up and approach it, staying a little bit farther back to keep a watch on Smokey and see if anything happens to him quickly. In case this is
Just
bait.
shout out to Rook, go, you be stealthy, go check it out.
Oh my god.
So, Rook, are you trying to be quiet and
Yes.
do you pull up your hood?
Yep.
Alright, so by pulling up your elven cloak, you start to meld into the wilds as you just start to weave around as quietly as you can. Make a stealth check with advantage.
24.
Alright, and what are you looking for specifically?
I'm keeping a watch on Smokey, since Smokey said he was going to check it out initially. I'm pretty much just watching to make sure Smokey
Okay,
doesn't get
you're just watching
attacked.
Smokey. Alright,
Yes.
so Smokey, you're going to be looking for what exactly?
Since looks like an accident, I'm going to look for the possible cause.
Okay,
Like if there is any damage to the cart, that sort of thing.
sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
It is 26.
All right. So you look about the cart, and you can tell that a majority of the remains don't seem to have any kind of snap or break that you would assume that, like, let's say a wheel could have flown off. There's no evidence of just accidental lead off to it becoming a piece of scrap on the side. You can tell that just from the way that it's positioned and how it's tilted on its side, that it looks to have been almost kind of like pushed off to the side of the road and left to tumble out and just kind of roll down and just spill out whatever it had on it. You can see that there is no evidence of horse and there is no evidence of driver, no blood smearing. So your best bet is that either someone, when they held this up, they had everything disembark and then they removed it and then just threw the cart onto the side just to get it out of the way so most people wouldn't see it. Just try to get it off the road.
Oh, so it is off the road and kind of hidden.
Mm-hmm. You can see that it's kind of hidden under some growth and it's just behind a few bits of plants and brush.
Do I happen to see, I mean, this may not work for a cart, but does it have a name or any sort of identifying symbol of, like, perhaps the company, that sort of thing?
There is nothing on there that has any kind of name or writing on there to give you an idea of that. No.
Well, Rook, this sort of, I mean, I don't see any damage to the cart. It looks like this was kind of just like a clean job. But I would guess someone held it up and there was no damage. I don't see any sort of blood or anything, so things went smoothly. Cargo was taken and they left.
Any sign of the driver or anything like that?
Can I look around for tracks or something? Or
Make a survival check.
I'm great at these.
Oh no.
It's just a straight roll. 14.
Okay. So you look around to see if there's any tracks that might have given any hint as to the direction that someone might have gone. You don't see any driver tracks necessarily. It's hard to tell if anything belongs to one individual in particular, but you do see what appears to be a small, almost kind of like a path that has been made into the actual forest. You can see some twigs that have snapped and a few things that have been upturned and broken. When you start to follow this, you notice that a majority of these tracks, or this kind of this little trail of evidence, it's very odd. It's broken and clumsy, and a majority of it is very obvious. You can see that a majority of the branches that are broken and things that have been pushed to the side have been done with almost a deliberate kind of force. There's no care to even trying to be subtle. It's a very noticeable path.
Huh. It's kind of weird. There's like a drunk cow that passed by through here.
I resent that comment. Oh, you weren't meaning me.
What cow?
All right. Well, please do go let Valindra and Varkesh know, and I will keep to the side of this and keep a lookout.
Okay. And he'll bobble on over to the rest of the party. Hey, we found something. It looks like there was a cart that got mugged, and there's a path heading off into the woods.
Okay. Barkesh?
Yes.
Singing.
Oh, do we have to? I'm really,
And,
I'm afraid so, buddy.
I'm really bad at this game.
I know, but if you're really good at this game, you'll get a biscuit.
Well, actually,
What kind of dragon do you take me for? 2 biscuits.
Kind that likes biscuits?
2
Okay.
biscuits or no deal?
2 biscuits.
Okay. I will play.
and Varkesh, actually, if you want, we can just keep on talking, but I can do it so we're just talking in our heads.
Oh, you don't want that. You don't want Barkesh in your head.
I mean, I will fuck you up. You will not recover from it.
Well, I mean, I was just talking like we are now, only it'll be quiet so no one will hear us.
I think they're meaning the fact that he just points to his massive feet and then his armor. So I'm rather clunky. I think that's the thing they're referring to. That and my loud mouth.
Okay.
That was what I was referring to. You're
Oh.
loud.
While that whole conversation is going on, I'd like to have started down the path, keeping an eye out for any traps. Still trying to remain fairly quiet.
Sure.
I will make the attempt to be stealthy.
All right. Those of you who wish to be stealthy, please make a stealth check. Varkesh with disadvantage.
Ugh.
But Rook, make a perception check for me.
Ooh, not bad, not bad.
Wish me luck, Kayla!
Oh, good luck.
Ooh.
You got this.
That's one on the perception.
Ugh.
Ooh. All right.
Would you like me to make that stealth roll again?
You haven't done anything. You've just literally just been keeping an eye out, so you can still keep that stealth. You haven't done any kind of investigation or action of any kind. So,
Okay, sounds good.
I'm
As-
sorry, I'm apparently going to be very loud.
as you kind of make your way a little bit ahead of them, you kind of look around, Rook, keeping an eye out to see if you can see anything. As you hear the occasional snapping branch and
Sorry.
and just kind
Sorry.
of like you can tell Varkesh is not doing his. He's not doing the best job being quiet.
So
He's
sorry.
trying.
Sorry. Sorry.
As you continue down this very obvious trail, you do eventually come to what appears to be a slight, almost kind of like a dip into the ground. As you look over, you can see a large, almost kind of like cleaved dirt canyon into the dirt. You can see that it's been dropped down for about maybe a good 10 feet into this little ditch. And it's very odd to you because it is not natural. It almost looks like someone took a giant axe and just cleaved it out. But you can see what appears to be near the bottom of this kind of wound in the earth is a small black opening into a cave of some sorts.
God, no, not Steve.
Our favorite.
Oh, you guys don't like the caves?
They don't like me in caves.
Well, just last time we were in a cave, there was a lot going on.
Yeah, I'd like to scout my way into the tunnel.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
You can.
Poof Winnie on him.
Okay. You send Winnie with Rook as once more you feel that very familiar weight on your head as Winnie is now kind of poking his head just under your hood, giving you this weird little teepee top. But you do kind
Adorable.
of make your way down. With your perception check at the 28, the natural 20, you would notice this as you get to the actual edge of the cave and you kind of start looking around. You do see what appears to be a small vial. It looks to have a bit of liquid inside of it, and as you pick it up, you kind of see that it sloshes around like a very thick, syrupy mud-looking kind of liquid. And as you kind of pop the cork a little bit, you give it a sniff and go, "Oh, it smells horrible! It is decay, death. It is just the nastiest kind of odor you've ever had to like inhale." And you're just, ugh.
I'm not keeping that. I just toss it aside. And I continue on in.
Okay, you put the thing back down as you make your way inside, and Valindra, you once more extend your senses through Winnie as you begin to look in turn with him. Rook,
I will point at the vial because I'm assuming Winnie saw him pick it up, and I'll be like, "There's somebody grab that."
I will grab it and drink it.
God, no! Oh God!
Okay,
Oh,
so Varkesh, make a Constitution saving throw for me as you let this touch your tongue.
this is. I forgot. I need to specify.
So as you pick it up and you just go, wonder what it tastes like. you immediately vomit. It's horrible. It is. You just like let it out. It was the worst rotten. It's nasty. It literally is just the juices of decay and death.
Do you normally pick up and drink stuff that looks like poo water?
She gave it to me. I assumed it was fine.
Okay.
As you
And of
all,
course, Valendra is blind to all of this because she's still in Winnie.
as you all reconverge back down to the cave entrance, Rook, when you go inside, you can see that with your dark vision, as you open up your second pair of eyes, your 4 red pupils just start to gaze around. You do notice that the cave kind of winds a little bit, and it's almost like a very weird, narrow, and widening kind of passage, as it just kind of continues to undulate. As it gets a little bit, about maybe 10 or 30, sorry, somewhere between 10 to 15 feet inside, you do see that it begins to start to widen, and then it starts to split into 2 distinct tunnels, left and right.
Let's split up, Scoob.
I'll start on the left.
Okay, so you continue
Keeping an eye out
going.
for traps.
All right, go ahead and make another perception check as you make your way that way. The rest of you are all following that way as well. Varkesh, I believe you're the only one who does not have dark vision.
I do not, and I will cast light on the end of my mace.
Okay, so you give yourself that very noticeable beacon of light.
But I will also take up the rear very, very far behind so that I don't ruin Rook's stealthiness.
All right, and, yep.
Harkesh, I actually may have a better solution for that.
Oh!
And so, again, he will do the... And he actually has his eyes glow, and his mouth, when he opens it, he actually becomes like a flashlight. And he closes it up, and it's out. And opens again, flashlight.
What are you?
I will grab his chin and his nose and just do that. Just make him do it. That is amazing. And then I just pry his mouth open really wide and just check inside his mouth. What is this magic? Explain to me.
So you see just like a live hot coal that's actually burning on his tongue. Doesn't seem to be hurting him though. Is that something I'm telling you?
Sorry, speak up. Oh, shit, sorry. And I just close his mouth. I do apologize.
Wow.
Yeah, but you do see that now you have a very ingenious bullseye lantern kind of magic going on right now, as you're able to focus the light in a single direction, giving you a greater sense of being stealthy and quiet to being able to look around without leaving a huge beacon of light. So, Varkesh.
Yes, I'm out of a job.
Varkesh, do you wish to
That's not
keep?
for me.
Do you wish to keep the light on your mace?
I will trust the fluffy kitty, and I will extinguish my mace.
All right. So in order to do this, you have to cast light, I believe, on something else. I don't know if it says. Oh, yeah, you dismiss it. You can dismiss it. You just dismiss it as it extinguishes, and you are once more led by the opened mouth cat, just kind of giving this beacon little flashlight around.
I do warn you, I generally cannot see in the dark, so if I trip over you, everyone's going to die.
Rook, you try to keep an eye out for any traps or anything that might be lying in wait for your party. You don't seem to see anything as you continue down into what appears to be a larger chamber as the tunnel exits out into this massive kind of bubble in the center of this earth. You can see that in there are remnants of what appears to be stalactites and stalagmites decorating the walls, the ceiling, and the floor, making it a very difficult terrain to move around. You can see that there's no easy flat ground at all. You have to kind of start to move side to side and kind of keep your footing as carefully as you can without slipping and falling on the slightly slick surfaces. but you can see that the room itself is very large, but there does seem to be, as you look to the right, two other tunnels that seem to kind of set one farther away and one just next to you, almost as if it was like a similar exit point.
I'm gonna look around at all these other tunnels. I'm just gonna think to myself a moment, and then go back to the party and be like, "Hey, Varkesh, do you think you could cast that locate object spell now?
Sorry, that what?
The locate object spell that you might find this necromancy tome."
As you come back to see the cat just open mouthing and just shining a light straight into your face.
And what is he doing?
I
Apparently, it's a lighting hairball. I have no clue. Find object spell. Find object spell. I'm trying to remember. And then I will go, and I cast locate object.
Okay, so as you begin and you go off of the description that was mentioned in the contract, a Necronomicon kind of book, a grimoire of sorts, as you start to focus the spell and let the holy energy push out of you, you immediately get a blink, not more than about 60 or 80 feet off to your right.
Wow, that's a fucking waste of a level 2 spell. It's right over there.
So down the opposite tunnel from the one I went down initially, thereby not a waste of a spell.
Good job, Varkesh.
I mean, yay! Go me! There is no end to my talents, after all. He
Yes,
says
you're
that,
very talented. It's
totally
just-
forgetting that he's meant to be stealthy. He's just shouting this.
It is a
Wonderful.
very loud echo as he does make these noises. His stealth check not being the best.
Varkesh,
Yeah, yes.
we're gonna hold up two of the biscuits, and I'm gonna break one in half.
You monster! Why would you do that? Fine.
So, as you reaffirm your quiet presence, Rook, where do you wish to go?
I will start down the right path this
Okay.
time.
So, you continue down the right tunnel. As you head in that direction, the rest of the party keeping as quiet as they can, but following with a semi-close pace, you eventually once more emerge to the same chamber. The one with the stalactites and stalagmites all littered throughout the floor, ceiling, and walls. And you can see now to your left there is a entryway tunnel that you had actually previously exited out before, but you are much closer to a second tunnel to the right. As you start to look down that one a little bit further, you can see that there is a slight, very quiet sound. It's too faint to hear what exactly you're being able to pick up, but it sounds like a voice, maybe, or a person, but you're not able to hear much. But as you kind of start to lean in and listen carefully, it goes quiet.
Well, I will try to make my way forward anyway, so I can try to get a visual on whatever was causing the sound.
Okay, so you start to move a little further in as the party eventually emerges out, and the light beacon starts to do a quick zoom around. You all exit into this chamber. As you can see, the stalactites and stalagmites just surrounding you, and you can see that Rook is nowhere to be seen at the moment.
How big are the? I can never remember which ones are the ones that come up from the floor. Stalagmites.
The mites are on the ground, and the tights are on the ceiling.
So how high do the mites come up?
There's a varying degree of sizes. You can see that some of them are taller than you, and some of them are just as small as maybe like a mouse. It's a very weird, broken, jagged cave. And by the way, Rook, as you are moving through, you're kind of having to be careful, and you're moving at half speed just to get through this kind of maze of broken stone. But as you get to around there and the light kind of comes in and starts to peek around, you suddenly hear a different noise. It's like a sloshing, a kind of like a wet slurp, as it just kind of slowly makes a weird kind of like echoing sound, and you turn to your left and you can see that there is something coming up from the ground, and it almost looks like a worm, and the tendril just kind of lifts and then reaches out to latch towards you. I need everyone to roll for initiative. I will put you on the battle map as you have now engaged in combat. Let me just get you right
I
up.
thought someone was like Rook stumbled across someone eating soup in the cave or something like that.
Oh my god, Smokey looks adorable.
So, down there as you headed towards there, your allies are right around there as they come out.
Oh, good.
Well, Varkesh is in the back, actually, because he was trying to keep back. But yes, you do see what appears to be a selection of stalactites coming to life and beginning to whip out these tendrils as they start to move in quick succession, heading towards you and trying to wrap you into a tight grip.
Our initiatives are terrible.
Let me just quickly get this guy up.
That was amazing. Like the voice and everything.
All right. So we have these two. We'll go with the top one first, and then the bottom one. All right. So let me just bring him down so I can actually reach his thingy. So he got a 9, and then this one got a 17. Quite impressive for those little guys, I mean. But yes. Okay, so at the top of the round, the surprise round, Rook, you suddenly feel these tendrils latch onto you and begin to try and grapple you and just kind of start to wrap around your arms and legs. We're going to see if the attack can get you. That is a 10.
That will miss.
So no, the first tendril goes wide and does nothing. The second tendril comes up, 18.
That will hit.
Alright, so that one grabs you, and as you see, it latches on tight and just pulls you in straight towards its form. And as you look at it, an eyeball pops open and blinks at you before a wide mouth just starts to elongate open, bringing you right in as it goes to snap down and bite you.
No.
That's nice and horrifying. I love it.
That is a 12 to hit.
That will miss.
All right, so you just basically get yourself squirming from side to side, and as the mouth comes open, you just quickly do a quick retreat as it snaps short and doesn't seem to get hold of you. But yeah, Varkesh, it is your turn.
Was Rook grappled?
Rook is currently grappled, yes.
Dang it. Okay. So these guys are on the ground, right?
They are on the ground, these two.
Okie dokie. I'm going to 5, 10, 15, right that, and I'm going to reach out and touch Rook,
Mm-hmm.
and I am going to cast Freedom of Movement on him.
Oh, all right.
I just need to find the spell. He's a 3rd level. No, it's actually a 4th level. My bad.
All right. So as you start to get pulled in further, Rook, you see suddenly Varkesh come to the side and grab a hold of you as he then releases this kind of quick vibration of holy energy as it just kind of just invigorates you, and suddenly you feel almost like you're on caffeine. You're tense and all your muscles are just willing to go, and suddenly this energy just starts to coat your body and you feel slick and just able to move with ease.
Birdie Baraso.
But yeah, so you are now blessed with the freedom of movement spell. Varkesh, is that all you like to do?
I will also cast Spiritual Weapon at level 2.
Okay, yes, because you are...
Oh, good lord.
Well, because you have that that ability feat, so good job. So...
My first crit!
You,
My first crit!
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely hit as you bring... What is your spiritual weapon looking like?
It is a large, silvery, semi-opaque feral dragon forelimb. And it'll just rake across the...
All right, as you bring this claw into existence, as it stabilizes, and then shoots out and hits the roper right in the face. It just digs its claws in, dealing 14 damage to it. Nice.
Wait for me.
Good job. As you just clench this holy fist right into its face, causing it to reel back as the tendrils all start to just shake about in panic and pain.
Yes.
The other roper, though, immediately starts to sludge forward in this kind of slow motion. As you can see, tendrils all coming out. And they start to wiggle forward and move straight towards Valindra.
No.
And they suddenly go to try and grapple onto her feet and arms to pull her in. So, first attack. Natural 1. No! As it comes in, Valindra's just like, stomps on it with her heel, just as the thing just goes, and pulls it back in pain as you just basically trounce that tendril. Second one, 9. That's a 2. 1 to 2. So again, you bat it away. The third tendril coming at your leg, trying to grab hold. Okay, that one does it. So as you do see the third one, it latches on with absolute strength and just begins to pull you as you go, and your entire body just yanks forward towards the creature. It moves you 25 feet right to it.
No.
And as you get right to its face, you see once more the maw breaking apart and splitting the creature in half as it goes to bite down on you. Natural 20.
Seriously. 2 in a row.
So, yeah, that is
So
40 damage, yes, as soon as this
Good
happens.
lord.
Seeing this happen, Smokey will look and just go, "Holy fuzzballs!" And he's just going to wave his arms, and there's going to smoke appears between you and its mouth, and it solidifies and takes away 12 points of the damage.
Oh, nice! Very nice. So, you see Smokey in a reaction just immediately go, and pop out what appears to be a thick, viscous smoke that just softens the impact, preventing you from taking the full force of this very critical bite. So instead of 40 damage, you only take 28.
Only.
Thanks.
I like it.
Not bad.
Only 28.
Only 28. Smokey, it is your turn. What do you wish to do?
He's going to turn towards the one that has Varundra, and he's going to cast a banishment on it.
Oh, right. Okay, so it makes a charisma save for that one?
Yes.
Oh, right. And it's the one for Valindra or Rook?
For Valindra, and your DC is 15.
All right. So as you cast the spell and branch it forward, the creature begins to shake and twist and then disappear.
Amazing.
Okay, now
Amazing.
he has no bonus actions as a wizard. That's all he can do. He should have ran away first, but that's okay. He's just gonna try and make himself as small and unappealing as possible. Can he go through Varkesh's space and get to here? So he's near friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna do that.
Okay. As you once more successfully cast a spell towards the creature, you see it disappear. And you're just like, haha! Well, I just can once more kind of get to your allies as you're just a little panicked and just like, shit! As you kind of get within the reach of these two.
And you guys see that Smokey is actively smoking now. Concentrating.
Rook, what do you wish to do? You are still grappled by this creature.
I'll use my 5 feet of movement to break free of that grapple.
All right, as you use this holy slick grease to just pop right out.
And navigate myself down the right here.
Okay.
Exactly. Varkesh.
Right.
And I'm going to go ahead and use a bonus action to try to insightful fighting this thing.
All right, as you look for the weak spot to this creature, go ahead and make your insight 11, and it makes a deception check, which is charisma based, right?
Yes.
All right, it rolls a 12. Sadly, you try to see if there's any weak points, but you notice that the texture of its skin is almost like that of rock. It is tough and hard. There's no little crack that you can exploit, that you can see.
Okay. Well, I'll still try to take a stab at it anyway.
Sure, as you bring your rapier out and you thrust it forward. Well, yes, I do believe that absolutely hits.
And I
Please
just
go
took a
ahead.
sneak attack because I have an ally there too.
Roll for
Yeah.
damage and your sneak, doubling the sneak.
Good lord.
A total of damn. All right, so that's going to be 47 points of damage.
Nice.
Piercing me.
47 points as you do eventually. You stab in and you find a little weak spot just between these two rough nubs, and you sink it straight in as the creature rears back as blood just kind of starts to pour out of this wound as you seem to nick something vital. The whole thing beginning to kind of bleed out its internal. It's just making a nasty mess.
Thank you, Varkesh.
You're welcome. What'd I do?
All right. Valindra, what do you wish to do?
Well, I'm going to do the opposite of what Smokey did, and I'm going to back away from this creature.
You moved too far.
Shoot it with Eldritch Blast.
Go right ahead. That absolutely hits as you let off the first and then the second force as you smack the thing. It just hits it on the head, kind of making it sway left and right to each of the impacts. 10 damage. The creature looks really bad. The entire internal part of it's just seeped out and broken away. It does not look happy. It looks very pained.
And then since I still took quite a significant hit as my bonus action, I will use it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as you kind of get yourself to be a little bit more stabilized, you kind of like close off the wounds a little bit, giving yourself that extra bit of time to kind of stop the bleeding.
Mm.
But yeah. So as you go back to the side, you all start to hear that the commotion has caused some kind of stir down the tunnel where Rook is. And Rook, as you turn and look in that direction, you hear a clanking sound, almost like a hollow drum of weird, just broken pieces of almost like pottery, and it's chimes. It's odd, but you can hear it, and it sounds vaguely familiar as you do a quick turn, and you start to see what appears to be the slight silhouette of white begin to push out from the darkness as you can see a skull, a chest piece of bone, and what appears to be a marching procession of skeletons heading towards this battle. As you can see them begin to make their way towards you.
Good.
I'm just going to quickly pull them up.
Oh, wait. Winnie didn't get to move.
Oh, would you want where to move somewhere?
I want him to come to me.
Okay.
So he's going to jump off Rook and run to me.
Okay. Alright, so you have him do that. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So they're using their actions to dash to get towards this location. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. And then these two are also coming up into the fight.
I think we might be a little bone.
Hey.
A searing smite that Kenku.
45, 40, 45, 50. Alright, and this one also gets to... Yep, we'll go right to there, and then up one. Alright, you see them marching in this kind of continuing kind of dead procession, heading straight to you, Rook. They see you first, but as you kind of see them come right at you, you also see a tendril once more lick out towards you and try to grapple you. So this tendril's going to try to pull you. 20. Alright, so you are now grabbed on as the other tendrils once more reach out and go towards Varkesh and Smokey, trying to reel them in as well. So Varkesh, natural 20.
Bugger.
You are completely lashed as the tendril goes around your neck. You do a little choking motion as then suddenly you see Smokey have a tendril go right to him. 23.
Yes.
So you then see once more another tendril latch on as all of you are pulled in close to the creature. As it then begins to get you close by, Rook, one mouth breaks open. Varkesh, as you come close, another mouth breaks open. And once more to you, Smokey, another mouth. You see 3 individual mouths breaking apart this creature as it just does a bite on all 3 of you. First one towards Rook. 25 to hit Rook.
This will hit. I'll go ahead and use an uncanny dodge.
Alright, so as you get the bite, you quickly pull your leg in before your leg gets chomped out, only getting the bit of your knee to get slightly scraped by these sharp teeth. Varkesh, 10. Oh, actually, does he get advantage on its attack? No. It's just a grapple. You're not fully there. So yeah,
Not restrained.
you're not restrained. But yeah, so that misses as your armor causes the teeth to chip off to the side, not doing any damage to you. And Smokey,
Fuck you, Fraggle Rock!
10. You once more are also just nimbly kind of turning away as you... And you see it just gets the fluff, thinking that that might be where your body is, but just getting mostly just cat puff. Not doing any damage to you. Varkesh, it is your turn.
Okay, I now see the undead, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and I'm not lifted off the ground. He's just like restraining me by my neck, correct?
Yeah, it's just basically you are grappled by it right now.
Okay, I am going to hold my amulet, and I'm just going to lift my right foot, and I'm just going to stomp on the ground and send a shockwave of divine energy out, and I will attempt to turn undead.
Okay, so as you do your turn undead ability, they make a wisdom save, correct?
Indeed, they do.
All right, let's see here if they can succeed on that. Let me just quickly pull up skeletons for their whole...
Oh, they're destroyed.
They'll be destroyed if they fail. Absolutely, they will just disintegrate. Let's see. So wisdom save for the first in the order. We'll go there.
Watch them get on that
Ew,
20.
that's an 11. It does not. As you see the second one in the row. 3, 6, 17. 17. I think that's, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. We'll go with the one at the upper front. 8. All right, as you do this, you suddenly shoot out this energy wave, and as it does, you see the skeletons that are susceptible to this magic just disintegrate immediately into ash, becoming nothing more than just a cloud that falls back and away. But you do see 2 resist and don't break and just hold themselves together, keeping the energy from just destroying them utterly.
And my bonus action, I will have my giant dragon limb claw slash at the thingy that's grappled me.
You use your action to turn undead.
Yes, this is my bonus action.
Your spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
Quick question while
22.
you roll that. What is the range of Destroy Undead?
30 feet.
He is just outside of range for Winnie.
You saved your pet.
But yes, the 22 does hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. 5
Yes.
force damage. Nice. As you once more see the dragon claw pierce inside and just push its energy in there, kind of causing it to break apart, and you can see bits of its flesh just fall off. It looks really weak.
That's all I can say.
All right, Smokey, it is your turn. You are still restrained by this tendril.
Do I see or hear more of those undead coming from the path?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Perception.
Oh, by the way, I do believe that since you are holding the concentration for banishment, your produce flame has gone out.
It is actually a cantrip, so therefore it is not concentration.
Ah,
I don't think.
Some of them are, like guidance is a concentration.
Guidance is produce flame is not.
All right, okay, so you still have the coal in your mouths. I mean, it's a little tricky for you to kind of do some incantation, as you have to kind of do a chipmunk moment, put the coal off into the
You
cheek.
get shoved into one cheek.
You get into one cheek, yeah. But you're able to, like, balance the coal a little bit.
There it is. Perception. 13.
That's hard to tell right now. All you can just hear is the wet noise of the tendril and the opening maw more so than any other kind of sound.
Yep, we're just going to be careful. And I'm going to cast Tidal Wave down that entire corridor.
Okay, all right.
So that is a 10-foot wide line that goes for... How long is it? It goes for 30 feet long. So I can cast it anywhere within 120 feet, so I'll choose right here.
Just past Rook.
Yep, and then just 30 feet back.
Okay, great. All right, and so they make a strength save?
It is going to be actually a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. All right, DC of...
15.
All right, let's see. 5 and a 21. So you do see that one of the skeletons immediately gets washed back as this sudden tidal wave rises up from the ground, filling the tunnel with this sloshing water as it once pushes back. As you can even see the dirt and debris being picked up, causing it to be like almost like a thick mud wall as it batters through them. 17 for the full effect, right? And then half for the ones that saved?
It will be half. Yes.
All right, so you do see that the one that gets pushed and pulled away scatters apart, no longer keeping its form. The one that just barely keeps it in check, it just holds itself together.
Mm-hmm.
Still just, it's there. Some of the bones in the rib cages have like kind of fallen away, and you can see it's a broken piece. It doesn't have as much left in it as it once had, but it's still standing.
Sure. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Rook, what do you wish to do? You are grappled, but you can spend 5 movement with that blessing from Varkesh to just pop out.
Yep, I'll spend that 5 movement, and once again, I'll take another stab at the roper here. Okay, 21 to hit.
21 does hit.
The 8 plus 12 for a total of 20
damage.
attack damage.
All right, as you bring your rapier out, you then stick it straight into what appears to be underneath the eye as it goes right up and in, and you see it begin to flail about as you just stick it and twist. And you see it just continue to go, pulling up your allies, almost lifting them off in the air as it just drops, and they all fall to the ground as it remains lifeless.
Thank you. That thing was hurting my neck.
Of course. Spin around, bonus action, I'll take a shot with my hand crossbow at the remaining skeleton.
Sure, go ahead and make your attack.
25 to hit?
That hits.
Oh, I do need that to beat the offhand crossbows. Just so same to his, just a 1d6 straight damage.
Yeah.
For 2 points of piercing damage, and I will use my remaining 25 feet of movement to be not here anymore.
Okay, you bring your crossbow around and you shoot out a tiny bolt that does stick into the skeleton. As you can see, there's one bolt now right in its hole, just protruding out, but its head clicks back as it looks towards you. Valindra.
Okay, I'm going to leave Winnie here,
Okay.
and then I'm going to move 5 feet here, and I will shoot Eldritch Blast.
All right, you Eldritch Blast.
Ah!
Oh, well, that absolutely hits. So,
Ha!
okay. The first one is just enough, by the way, as you shoot it out and you see the skull pop right off as it is decapitated, as it flies backwards, as the second impact of the Eldritch Blast just explodes the body, sending pieces all over the place as they just kind of hit the floor, becoming nothing in the debris. And as you do that, though, Valindra, do you have a bonus action?
No.
Okay. So, as you finish that off, you do hear a continued incantation in the distance as you then suddenly see a figure emerging with a cloak pulled over his head as a large tome is held in front of him as he continues to read from the book. And you start to notice that as he does, what appears to be a pile of skeletal remains continue to rise and rise around him. Suddenly the undead are pushing through the walls, coming out from the dirt on the ground, and the ones that have broken apart are once more coming back to life as they kind of begin to form up into a rank again.
Bum, 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 bum.
It is quite pretty much that, and you do see that there is a slew of them coming from the walls and the ceilings.
Did we get a visual on the caster?
You do see him just with your if you just open your mouth in that direction, you would just get a bare little blip of him.
Is he wet?
We'll get to your turn when you do your perception check to determine whether or not he is wet. I don't know if he's even have the hot for you either, but yeah.
No, Andrew, no.
Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, there's 6. All right, so at the top of the round, that creature is gone, and it no longer is there in the combat. But Varkesh, it is now down to you. What do you wish to do?
Well, seeing as everyone is here, I am going to take the opportunity to cast Beacon of Hope.
Okay, so you cast out your beacon once more, hitting your allies and enveloping them with this almost an aura of protection that just once more it sinks into them, and you can all feel the radiant energy just starting to pull from the world around you as you feel that it's starting to magnetize to draw in any kind of holy energy towards it at its maximum potential, giving you advantage on wisdom saving throws and full healing anytime you spend a hit die. So, too bad you didn't spend that later on, Valindra. That's okay.
And I will move back 20 feet, and I will see. I haven't got a token for my spiritual weapon. Where is that currently located?
I'll just give you a quick one right now. Yes, there we go.
Okay, a blob. Okay. And I will move that to the nearest creature, skeleton, and have it attack.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for your attack with your spirit weapon.
Come on, kill the thing. Wait a minute. There we go. 16.
Absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
8.
8 damage as you send the force of this weapon to bash against the skull, causing it to tick back, and you can see a few of itself kind of like holding there before it pops it back in, looking straight at you and the weapon.
And that will be me.
All right, Smokey, what do you wish to do?
Okay. Well, first of all, you said that it's out of the combat, but I am still holding concentration. I know how my spell works, right? So if I drop concentration, it'll come back.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I can see the caster on my screen. So does that mean I can see him in real life?
Yes, if you can see him now.
In game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna move on back to about, we'll say, to here. And I'm going to cast another tidal wave, and I'm going to cast it right about there.
Are you going to be missing the first skeleton?
I am, because it has to be 30 feet, and I need to get the wizard.
All right, so you bring the tidal wave once more into existence as the mud churns up into this as you shoot the wall straight down the tunnel. Each of the skeletons making a dex save. So the first set, let's see. So there's 5. 15. What's the DC?
That is the DC.
All right, so 1 success. 21, 2 success. 23 success. 5, and a 14. So the last 2 at the back fail, taking the full damage of, what was that again?
17 this time.
All right, 17. So those 2 in the back.
Oh, no, I haven't done damage yet. I'm sorry. That's just to hit.
All right.
To hit.
Well, there you
17!
go. 17! As it happens
Nice.
anyways. The 2 in the back
All day.
immediately break apart, becoming nothing more but just floating bits of skeleton.
And the wizard.
The wizard now, yes, let's see. So half of 17 again, we go to the 9.
Oh, he saved. Damn it.
Well, I'm not the wizard, but yeah, I haven't done him. I'm just doing the skeletons real quick because they obviously... Oh, actually, it's only 8, so... Sorry, because half of that, so let's just put them at 6. Okay. Now the wizard, let's see, he...
Die.
Let's see. I don't know if he will
So
die necessarily. Let me pull him up real quick. So he is. Oh, here we go. All right. So he 17. So he succeeds.
8 damage.
He only takes the 8.
And if concentration check if he's doing anything.
He is not holding concentration.
Hmm.
Not
Okay.
yet.
And at this point, Smokey's going to turn to Virindra and say, "Cuff, what?"
Make a translation check.
What do you want, performance or something?
I mean, you can just do a general intelligence check, Varkesh, if you want to see if you are understanding what he's saying.
I will give it a shot.
And I'll do charades.
Ugh.
No.
God.
I mean, you're trying. Gosh darn, you're trying so hard, but he's just, like, not getting it.
You want a Cinnabon on a biscuit roof? This is the wrong time for this, cat.
That's my turn.
All right. So, by the way, I totally forgot to put this in there. Let's see, what did he get? Okay, so he would have gone before you, but that's okay. We'll just do him right after you at this point. But yes, so he got a 10. So, as you see the wave come out and push him back, you see him stagger a little bit as he's holding the book still, keeping what appears to be the magic that just bleeds out of the pages and starts to make a dark aura around all the remaining skeletons, and as well as those that are on the ground. You see him begin to look about in confusion, and he does see you in the distance start to move away, and he begins to step forward, and he starts to slowly make incantation motions as he recognizes you being the spellcaster, and he lets out what appears to be a slight whisper as the magic starts to push onto your body. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Your DC is 15.
Saving throw, not check.
Yes.
There we go. 12.
Alright, sadly, as you try to resist the magic, you suddenly feel that as he pushes it out towards you, your body just goes and seals. You are completely frozen in a stunned state as you are held in place.
Luckily, my mouth is open and facing the exact direction my token is facing, so it's perfect.
But yes, so after he did that though, Rook, what do you wish to do?
Jeez, okay. I'll take a... Take a bonus action dash
Okay.
in order to get right up in his face, provoking any opportunity attacks needed. We're right there.
Alright, looks like you will take 3 opportunity attacks, unless you wanted to use any attack action to do anything, because you have...
Actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and use my main action as a disengage as well.
Okay, so
So
you
my
use...
dash and disengage.
Alright,
And
so you just...
I
make
had
your
another
way.
15 feet of movement, so I'll put myself there.
Okay.
And-
Alright, so you just start to bob and weave straight through as you just duck, dodge, and weave and roll through the entire, wave of skeletons, getting right behind this hooded figure. Poised to strike. Valindra, what do you wish to do?
Okay. He is chanting these incantations, correct?
You heard him say something softly, but he is not doing anything right now. But in this combat of 6 seconds, you hear spells going off.
Okay. I would like to... Yeah. I would like to cast Silence right where he's standing.
Okay. Alright, so you weave your own spell. As you put it out, you see it just start to shoot out. And as it does, you see him see the magic effect come in, and you see him once more in a quick response shoot out his own counterspell, shooting it back at you. And you see the silence breaks apart. Oh, no, wait. What level do you cast your spells at?
It'd be 4th level. Well, you're a 7th
level.
level warlock, yeah?
4th level?
4th level, yeah.
All right, he has to make a roll for this because you are a little bit more powerful. So he will roll. He has to beat a 4th level. He has to beat a 14. He does not, as you see him try to push the magic out, and suddenly it falls short. As instead, a bubble of silence appears right around him.
Way to go.
Would you like to do anything else?
My bonus action. No, that's it for me, actually.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. At the top of the round, you see that the book is continuing to bleed out this energy as it is slowly bringing these bones right back to life as they rise from the ground and form these skeletons continuously. It looks to be almost like a never-ending wave. These two in the back come back to life.
Oh dear.
So, but those are the only two that fell, so those are the only two that rise up.
Right.
That was a dog. Now, as we have this, Varkesh, what would you like to do?
Cry loudly. Let's see. I know, dog. I'm sorry. Right.
He's adorable.
I will. Actually, yes, I think I can 5, 10, 15. No, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep, I can move there. And I will take the risk, and I will once again hold my amulet, lift my big foot, and just slam it down on the ground and cascade radiant energy out and attempt to turn undead again.
All right, you once more push out the turn undead to cause them to flee. The first one, 15. What is your DC?
15.
All right, so the first one passes. The two left first passes. The one on the right does not. The one just in front of the cultist, no. And the two freshly spawned left first, just barely no. On the right, no as well, as only two remain standing as the rest just disintegrate into ash once more.
And then for my bonus action, I will have my spiritual weapon attack the one that is currently engaged with.
Okay, go ahead. Actually, real quick, let me just double check to make sure you are not within the... Yep, you are fine. Okay, that absolutely hits, as you are just outside the silence barrier.
Ooh, I like that.
Nice.
No, without any trouble whatsoever, that skeleton immediately turns and breaks apart as the impact just causes it to shatter as many of the bones just fly in an explosion from the impact of your spirit weapon.
I hate skeletons, and that's my that's my free action.
So, just outside the silent sphere, you see this cultist looking a little bit hesitant and concerned and not knowing what to do. He does see you, Rook, right next to him, but he does hear that whenever he's making sound, nothing is coming out, so he doesn't know what to do. So you see him begin to move away from you to get out of the bubble and waiting until he hears his footfalls again. So he gets to there. You get an attack of opportunity.
We'll definitely take that. 15 to hit.
That, I believe, will hit.
Right, for 13 piercing
It
damage.
does hit. Yeah, 13. Not bad. As you do see that he does take a slight bit of damage from your rapier as it shoots out and you see a cut go across his arm.
Con save.
But as that happens, he does now, once he's broken from the silence, he does turn around and see you. And he does once more begin, as he looks up around to see you and Varkesh, as he focuses his other third level spell. I need both of you to make wisdom saving throws.
No.
Smokey, you are no longer held.
Fuck.
Rook, you shrug it off. It is no problem to you. However, Varkesh, you just suddenly stiffen up.
The cleric fails on a fucking wisdom save. Of course.
Smokey, what do you wish to do?
Newly free. And I'm going to say that I noticed that Varkesh is currently out of commission. We're going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Do I see?
No.
Nope.
Wait. What did I do?
I can't do jack shit because I'm concentrating on the powerful monster. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to cast... he's going to actually hawk up his fireball loogie and just spit it at the skeleton.
Okay, so he's just going to produce flame straight at the creature. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and do your attack.
That's
That
the 20
absolutely hits.
10 fire damage.
10. As you huck it into his face, the skull takes it as you see it panicking around, trying to get it off it, and as it does, it starts to just sink in, and the head just starts to crumble in on itself, becoming a slight little smoldering pile on the ground.
Alright, and that's all I got.
Apologies for the puppy.
Meh.
Apologies, this is adorable.
But yes, Rook, what do you wish to do?
Alright, so I'm gonna run up on your boy again and get right up. Oh, did I mess up that up? But yeah, essentially my goal is to get here. Bonus action, insightful fighting on the Cult Fanatic.
Okay, so you go ahead and you try to see if you can assess his weakness.
Probably not roll 3 on dice, but we'll find
beat
out.
him.
Yeah.
Oh.
You find that though the cultist himself is he's not very strong. There's quite a few weak points that you can exploit. There's gaps in his armor everywhere.
It's
Okay,
already
good. And I'm gonna take a stab out on the roof here again.
Okay.
I double tapped that.
Oh,
11.
well, I mean, you think you got it, but as you go for the most obvious weak point right between the arm and the rib cage, he just quickly moves out of the way as you pierce nothing but air. He comes back around, just counting his lucky stars that he jumped in the right way.
And that'll end my turn.
Yeah, Gavel, end your turn. Valindra.
Okay, I will move up here so that I can see him. And
You do see him.
Okay. I will cast a flare.
Well, the first one absolutely hits. As you deal 4 force damage to the to him as you see him bop him on the face as he reels back as he's trying to keep the book in his own hands. Oh, sorry. There we go. But yeah.
Does he make a con save for Varkash?
He does have to make a concentration check, yes. Let's see. He succeeds. He holds onto the spell, just barely keeping it with him.
Nice try, though.
But at the top of the round, you do see that, once more, the skeletons begin to rematerialize back and form once more the undead ranks. As they start to surround Valindra. And that one reappears right in front of you, Varkesh.
The ones that are disintegrated, can they actually come back like that?
You do notice that the ones that disintegrated don't rematerialize, but out from around the dirt you see skeletons pushing out. It seems like the energy from the book seeps into the walls and starts to bring things towards it as it starts to kind of reanimate any skeleton that might be within this kind of almost this cleaved earth.
Okay. I am still currently restrained.
Yes,
Well,
you are, but
paralyzed
you
with-
can make a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn to break free.
I will then do that.
All right. Do you want to break free?
I do indeed.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Ooh!
And you do break free as you
Nice.
once more you use your own center and self to realize that magic has no effect on you as you push it away and you are once more free to move about.
I'm back, bitches!
You're also in the total dark because I cast my.
I can't see, bitches!
So,
Wait, and that's everything, right? No action, no
yeah, 'cause
bonus
it's at
action.
the end of your turn that you make this.
That is right. Okay.
But yes, you do see that the guy does notice that his magic has no longer kept you in place, and he just sees the two within his sight, and he once more does a very familiar incantation as he releases it out to Valindra and Rook. I need you both to make wisdom saving throws.
Nope. Counterspell.
Oh,
Ooh.
right. Go ahead. This is the 3rd level, so you're doing it 4. Yeah.
Yep.
Instantly. Actually, you are in your silence bubble right now.
I would have never
Oh,
specified.
yeah.
Sorry, you are still in the silence bubble. I know, it's so it's the bubble has basically caused you to no longer do so, but make your wisdom saving throw.
Counterspell has no verbal component.
Oh, really?
Counterspell has
It's
a...
somatic only.
Yeah,
Really?
there's no way.
Oh, that's right.
Somatic only. Please go have a look.
Oh, sure. Go ahead and post your counterspell. Let's see for sure. If it is just
It,
somatic...
it is. It's just somatic.
Just
Wow.
somatic. All right, you don't care. You don't give a shit. Silence has nothing on you as you do a quick releasing motion of your hand as the energy breaks apart his spell, causing it to fall apart. He has nothing on him. Smokey, what do you wish to do?
Arrgh. Okay. Smokey is gonna come over to here, kind of peeking at what's happening. That's 15 feet. Alright. Yeah, this is a question for you. He's gonna cast Dispel Magic, and can choose one effect. And so he's going to try and just like right in the dead center of everything.
Okay.
What would you like me to do?
Roll for me your spell modifier, which is intelligence, correct?
Yes.
Make an intelligence check for me as you try to dispel. Okay, you try to focus the magic as you have nothing to really focus it on, but you try to see if you can get anything in the area as you push it out, but suddenly there's nothing to cling to, or the magic wasn't strong enough, but it doesn't seem to do anything as the undead just remain stationary.
Yep. Moving back 15 feet. That's
Get
my
my
turn.
cat ass out of here.
Yes, you once more retreat
Tactfully.
tactfully. Rook, it is your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a stab at him with the rapier again. 15 to hit.
That does hit.
I do get sneak attack from insightful fighting. For
Yes.
a total of another 18 points of damage.
18 damage. He looks really bad as you plunge it right into his gut and pull it out. You can see a bleeding wound just start to kind of pour down the side of his body. It's just oozing the red liquid. It looks bad. He looks really hurt.
We'll go ahead and take an offhand crossbow shot
All right.
25
That
to hit.
absolutely hits.
for an additional 4 points of piercing.
All right. Do you get your dex? No, it's just 4 flat. All right. How do you want to do this?
Hell yeah! Alright, so I go ahead and first I just kind of jam the rapier into his knee to bring him down kneeling before me, place the hand crossbow against his forehead, and pull the trigger.
Okay, so causing him to instinctively buckle down, you force him to go straight head towards the crossbow, and as he touches the point, you release the trigger, causing it to embed right into his head, protruding out the back as he just slumps there in front of you, the book toppling to the ground as it just starts to hit the dirt, and you can see that the energy begins to slowly bleed off and soak back into the pages as the skeletons, one by one, fall and become nothing more than a pile of bones.
I did it! Did you see? I destroyed them all!
You can't see anything.
I had them! I had them all destroy themselves.
Here. You did it twice! Good job!
Damn right.
So I pick up that book and I just start walking back to the group.
Okay.
I just shout at the top of my lungs. There's no end to my talents!
Okay, that's nice, but that thing's gonna come back in like 10 seconds.
You what?
The monster that went poof, it only goes poof for a little
I
while.
run back down this way.
As
What's that about a poof?
you do all say that, eventually, Smokey, you do hear that sudden as you
I'd be
recognize.
away.
Oh shit.
So we are still in combat. Top of the round. Varkesh, you start her off.
I am going to move up to where everyone else is.
How long does your spirit weapon last?
That's a good question, actually. Let me looky.
I couldn't remember if it lasts 10 minutes or 1 minute.
Bonus action, 60 feet, to 1 minute.
All right, so your spirit token has faded away at this point.
Bye, buddy. See you
After
soon.
after I did.
He cast it after you did, but it's as yours and his was right afterwards, and it.
Okay.
And that is as far as I go.
Okay. All right, as you once more all just kind of converge right there, the creature sloshes forward 5, 10. It's looking for anything nearby. It sees a tiny little tabaxi in the distance.
Oh.
But let me see, does it have the reach? Oh, yes, it is a 50-foot reach.
Good lord.
And it is just within reach as you see a tendril shoot straight out towards the cat as second, third, and fourth go towards him, trying to reel him in. All right, let's see. First one, 24.
It is.
All right, and then the second one, 22.
Does it need to hit?
22. And natural 20. Well, because it's going to be technically, if 4 are pulling you in, there's 4 to break from almost. So
I see.
So it begins to pull the cat, and you're kind of in a little bit of a weird tied up moment. A bit of your mouth is covered, a bit of your body, you're just like, yeah, just very tightly wound and moving slowly towards it. It is your turn, Smokey.
Oh, he doesn't get a bite?
He did not. He can only reel you in 25 feet.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. I'm alive. Okay. I am going to cast. No one can see, but you, if you could, you see his form. He starts to smoke, and then it just almost seems to increase. And from the edges, he gets more and more blurry until finally he becomes pure gas using gaseous form.
All right, yeah. So
Spell slot. I don't have the spell slot. I use it at 4th level.
4th level. All right. So as you cast this, you just become nothing more than vapor, as the creature has nothing to cling to as you become this gaseous cloud that drifts around.
Amazing.
And I'll go up like diagonally towards the ceiling too. And I don't think he can affect me in this form.
He cannot grab you, no.
Yeah, so I'm just floating towards my party. No!
Your whole blazing fast 10 feet of move, yeah.
I think we have the same speed as the roper. That's my turn.
All right. So, Rook, what do you want to do?
We can't leave him behind. I'll move back
Okay.
over.
Okay. So you head back towards the corridor you just ran from. You do see the very familiar silhouette of this creature. Its tendrils are flaying out, trying to grab something, and all you see is smoke. You have no idea where Smokey went.
I find this concerning, but also the roper is a bit more of a concern at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and let me make sure I can do that. It's right here. Yep, I believe I do have enough dark. Yep, 60-foot dark vision. I'll go ahead and use my bonus action to try to get insightful fighting on the roper.
Okay. Go ahead and make your insight check.
An 18.
Oh, yeah. You can tell that its greatest weaknesses seem to be in these little slit lines that are all around the form that you assume would break apart either to have more tendrils come out or to open its maw to grab and bite.
Okay, that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and use my action to dash and move back 15 feet. Oh, we'll go back. Just
Okay.
to be safe.
As
And
you just take a quick little look, and then whoop, back you go down the tunnel. Belindra.
Okay. I will move here, and I will Eldritch Blast him.
Okay. That
What?
hits. The second misses. Nice. You deal 6 force damage as your slight force just goes off into the distance and makes a solid little hit.
Okay. And I will use the rest of my movement to move back over here.
Okay. As you all do your retreat, Varkesh, it's your turn.
I am going. Hold on, I'm just going to check the light. It's an action. Dang it. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
also, can I drop silence?
Oh, yes, you can. You can drop that easily.
Go ahead.
That's okay. I'm going to cast light.
Okay.
And I'm going to move 30 feet back up here.
Okay, as you light, you see a large smoky cloud above you. As you can see, just in the distance, the shape of the stalagmite moving towards you with tendrils slurping out.
Ah! The thing farted!
It
That's
does look
just-
like Smokey.
Disgusting!
I imagine you can still see his orange eyes.
Sure. All right. Yes. You're like the cloud from the you're the cloud from the Care Bears. That little cloud.
Okay, but we all know this thing just has really demonic farts.
But yes, I did Varkesh.
That is all I will do for now.
All right. You see the creature move ever closer towards you, but it's looking around and doesn't seem to get any grip on the air, and it just looks towards you instead and lashes out a tendril right to you. Only to you, though. All 4 just go straight.
He doesn't
towards
waste any on me.
It can't grab you.
Well, he can still try and waste attacks.
It's more like it just moves throughout the air and nothing's happening. So it just goes right to Varkesh. All these nat 20s on grapples, but nothing. All right, and then the other 2.
You had a 20 on that fight with Kayla. I mean, that was nasty.
Yeah, but yeah, it does get 2 solid grips onto you as you then suddenly go and get pulled forward
Okie dokie.
right to there.
That's fine by me.
Smokey, you are a gaseous fart cloud in the air. What would you like to do?
I can't do shit, so I'm getting dashing to my full 20 feet to there. Hey, my friends.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Rook, what do you wish to do? You see Varkesh is being reeled in by this creature, bringing it closer to its mouth.
30 feet of movement on the base. That's 30 foot there. Let me check the range. 3120. So I'll go ahead and take a shot at it with my hand crossbow for my action.
Sure. That misses as you try to get it right in, but it just hits a hard spot and deflects off.
As a bonus action, I'll try to take the shot again.
All right, as you quickly reload and fire a second time. That absolutely hits.
Oh,
Four, but I do get the sneak attack from Insightful.
You
For an
do.
additional
38 total.
38 total, yeah.
Nice, very nice, as you were able to successfully pull off a critical strike, shooting it in as the second bolt finds its way right into the mouth as it's opening itself up, ready to take Varkesh, and you see it stick in as it just reels back as the bolt is now lodged in its throat. Yeah, nice. Good job. Belindra,
Oh, is this still alive?
it's still alive.
God.
Still alive.
We haven't done much damage to it aside from that attack.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
It's
will
been
move
banished.
up here, and I will Eldritch Blast.
All right, Eldritch Blast. Yes, those both hit.
Ah!
Oh, and not too bad on the damage there. Didn't roll 2 1s. So yeah, you do
I did it.
11 damage. Nice. As you once more wait for the creature to open its mouth, and you launch another bolt, and as it goes in, it acts as the hammer to the arrow being its nail, and sinks it farther in, and it protrudes out the back of the neck as you see it just start to... It's in agony as that sudden impact causes blood to push out behind it as it's even having blood drip down the front of its mouth. It's looking bloodied. It looks kind of hurt.
Good.
Varkesh, you are still in its tendrils, wrapped around as it is pulling you forward.
Okay. I will reach out with my hand after tapping my amulet and then just snap my fingers, and I will send a wall of fire going across as a multiplication symbol right across it, just streaking from left and right.
Oh, so you want to make like an X?
Yes.
Okay. So you just shoot out this wall of fire. Go ahead and roll for damage as it makes a dex save. Yeah, dex save. All right. No, it does not succeed as it takes the fire damage. It looks really rough.
And I will obviously spread it out as much as possible, so even if he tries to retreat, he will still probably within his next turn get hit.
All right, so you're basically just trying to fully encompass and surround the creature with it. Because I believe you can't put it into a space that a creature's occupied, but you can circle it, basically.
Yeah, fine, then I will in-ring it.
Yeah, you just cause the fire to ring around it. It is not looking happy, and it is just looking about, flailing its tendrils around as the fire is searing it and burning it. It doesn't look happy, so instead, it just tries for its last moment to pull you into the fire with it. And it tries to bite down on you.
What a rude dude.
20.
Misses.
So, with your thick plate armor, it is unable to puncture it as it tries to chew this tin can of a Dragonborn, and it just can't get it.
I'm just like shoving my shield in its mouth and just going, no bitey, no bitey.
But you are in the middle of the flames, but it is also still in the flames, so it takes the damage. Please, roll for me your second wall of flame.
Okay. And I will obviously do the thinking damage for myself.
Oh no, you don't. That's at the end of your turn. You have yet to do an end turn there. Ooh, let's see if it succeeds. Does not. How do you want to do this?
I am just going to vanish in amongst this like volcano wall of flames and just vanish completely. And then eventually when the creature's heard going silent, I'm just going to drop the flames and you're going to see me take a knee and I'm just going to stand up like the Terminator and walk out the fire.
With your own inferno of warped time, you just suddenly see Varkesh get engulfed in the flame as you all panic and watch for a second as it just continues to torrent into a cylinder before suddenly it just dissipates up and you can just see just Varkesh leaning down, one fist onto the creature as his head slowly looks up and he turns to look at you all as he stands proud and mighty atop this burnt husk.
I fucked this one up!
Yeah, from behind, the two of you just hear a...
Thank you! Bad fucking time someone applauded me!
Did you break your concentration or are you just doing air?
Smokey broke his concentration. When the
Okay, so Smokey's back as a kitty. Alright.
Oh god, I thought you were dead.
Oh, no, it's a little escape trick, I know. I just really just turned to my namesake and become smoke. It was really handy with those tentacles. I was really in trouble for a second there.
But yes, excellent job. You all see that as you regather, Rook has this book in his hands. Upon closer inspection, you can see that the tome is covered in a black stitched leather. You can see it's broken and made of multiple pieces, all with these fine stitchworks keeping it together. You can see that as you open some of the pages, the text is written in a dark black-red ink. It's kind of hard to tell if it might have been blood or not, but I mean, you think, no, probably couldn't be, could it? You just kind of put it off to the side, but the text is written in a very odd set of arcane runes and sigils. It's no language anyone has ever seen before. Valindra, even with your eyes, you can tell that this is not a language. This is a book of spells. A very intricate and detailed spell book.
Can I see that for a second?
Why?
I just want to look it over. See if I can figure out who made it.
Something not pleasant.
Rook is looking real closely. I want to try to discern if that's really the only reason you want to see it.
You can make an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, she
it is.
seems completely honest. You trust her. She's saved your bacon more than once. What's what's the harm in having her have a look?
Okay. He hands it over.
I'm gonna look for any like symbols or names or anything like that.
Sure. As you look about, there's no author or written name to the piece. You can tell that this is written in a specific kind of style that is very old and ancient. But go ahead and make for me an Arcana check. Okay. As you analyze the runes and sigils, you try to see if you can find any kind of similarity or anything that you've seen before, but they all seem to have this unique intricacy to them. It's a style of... The runes are recognizable. You can distinguish like the specific ones used for incantations and spells, but the way that they're made, it looks too flourished, too fancy. You've never seen anyone try to make this as a almost like a work of art. The book has more care and love in a way to how it has been made than any other you've ever seen.
I will give the book back to Rook. I will walk over to the sword guy, the wizard, over the dead one,
Yes.
and I will cast Speak with Dead.
All right, so you cast the Speak with Dead. Do you have the spell to do this?
Yeah, how many spell slots do you have?
Well, so I have 2, but then I have my staff, which gives me an additional one. So that's
So are you using your staff
Okay.
for this one?
using my staff.
All right, so as your staff comes out, you start to pull from the energy within, and as you do, you suddenly see each of the skulls light up a blue light as the energy pushes out and begins to filter into the corpse and slowly seep inside. You do realize that because of the energies that you poured in from this one staff right into the creature, you get one extra question to ask.
Oh, okay. That's so exciting. Okay. 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 So, first question. I'm gonna hold the book to him, and I'm gonna say, "Who did you get this from?"
You see that the body comes back to almost life. It's very recently dead, so there's no trouble with it speaking, but it looks up at you and goes, "Found it in cart."
Okay. Do you know who the cart belonged to?
No.
2.
Did he attack the cart? It didn't seem like it. If he just found the cart, but then if someone attacked the cart and robbed it, why wouldn't they take a really nice looking book?
It's a good question to ask, maybe.
Are you working alone? Or who are you working with? So it's not a yes or no.
That's what I'm thinking. Who are you working for?
No one.
Finish up with. Who are you working with?
I work alone.
That's reassuring.
Who do you
Ask
serve?
why.
So you ask, who do you serve?
Yeah.
The Quiet One.
Okay. That's helpful. Thanks.
You know who that is?
What does he want?
To be whole. And as you do see that, the last wisp of blue escapes its mouth from each answer as it sinks back into your pack, your rod of the pack keeper.
I would like to inspect the body.
Sure, make an investigation check. as you begin to scurry and look about the robes trying to find anything of interest, you look to see if there's any kind of gold or special items. You do see a small pouch that does have what appears to be 10 silver pieces in it. And you do see something that you recognize as you quietly turn him over, and you see a familiar mark just on the back of his shoulder.
Hey, Rook, would it be alright if I look at that book real quick?
So this is, I suppose it is your contract. Pass the book over to him.
Alright. I imagine that since I have a family grimoire myself, it also is rather aesthetically and artistically done, aside from just like quick scribbles.
Mm-hmm.
So can I do an Arcana check to try and look this guy over?
Yes, you can make this with advantage.
Ooh.
Okay, natural 20. So, as you begin to compare your book and this, and you start to try and analyze it, you do recognize that the runes are not only very familiar, the magical runes and sigils that are used almost throughout all spellcasting has a very universal kind of representation.
Yeah.
But you do see that the style of it and the way that it's been formatted, it's elvish. It's a very old, ancient kind of elvish flair to the runes, and it's one that you have recognized specifically for individuals who have lived during the Dragon's Age. You've known that any creature that got any magic or any kind of spell teaching, or whenever they were being taught how to weave magical spells, they had to be taught by the dragons. They were the ones that held the magic in full during that time. And those fortunate enough to be able to be given this gift were typically elves. Many of them were the ones who were the first to actually begin to form and cast these intricate kind of spells that would be used to create wonders and magical kind of marvels that would be used for their own kind as well as for the glory of the dragons. This book, as you analyze it and recognize it, it is something that is not only very ancient, but it belongs to someone who must have been of very great renown among the elven community. You don't know exactly which city it might have originated from. You could assume Alniel, since that is the elven capital that existed prior to the Age of Reckoning. But as to the name that it might belong to, you're unsure, but you know that it is a very distinct novel or some kind of tome that someone would be able to recognize, especially if they're an elf.
Mm-hmm. So this is a very big deal. Okay, so it's super old. It was written by elves, like possibly one of the first casters that there ever was, probably taught by one of the dragons themselves. And it's a lot. DM, I don't know if you decided for me, but I'm just an adventurer put on the contract. This isn't specifically a contract I put out, correct?
No, this is not your contract. You were sent out to grab this because you, in particular, had a very good affinity towards magical items and tomes and spellbooks, and they thought that you would be the best to not only recognize it, but retrieve it.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely the book. Holy cow, this looks crazy. But Belindra, did you find anything on the body?
There was like a little bit of gold, but
all right.
Fine.
Well, I guess if there's nothing else, I guess we should head on back. And out of curiosity, since I got a natural 20, do I recognize any spells that I could possibly transfer myself?
One of the spells that you do recognize immediately is a very long and extensive one that is Animate Dead. However, it is adapted. There is some kind of extra experimentation to the spell, and you can see that as the book continues to go from page to page, it almost grows it into almost like a permanent cycle that continues the spell.
Although, okay. So you guys can take this or leave this, but there's a spell in here that I've never seen before. And if you'd let me, who's to say if we found this book on the first day we tried, maybe we had to try for a little bit. But I mean, if we could wait a few days for me to make a copy of the spell, I mean, I'd really appreciate it.
I mean, I see no problem with it. I don't really want to give that back to whoever found it.
My only request is that we not do it in this dirty, dank cave.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
But yes, I'm not really in any particular rush back.
Mr. Burkesh,
Yes.
are you okay? Taking a little the detour for maybe a couple days?
Where are we going?
Anywhere but where we were.
Well, you said the book is Elvish, right?
I just looked at the Lindrum book and said, I'm down. I'm totally fine with that.
You do see that Varkesh is talking to you while still holding the pose.
Amazing.
Yep.
Well, you said it was written by elves, right? A very old elf?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, the best bet would probably be Olniel. You wanted to ask questions about it, but I don't know how we would even start looking.
Oh, well, I wasn't planning to not return it to the contractor. I was just saying that we just, stretch the truth and say that it took us a few days to, say, find a cave, and then we just return it, but I'll just have notes on the spell.
Okay.
Is this really something that needs to be so secretive?
Well, I mean, adventures, you want to have, results and efficiency. But, this was a pretty nasty cave. There was a lot of baddies in here. And, essentially possibly an endless cycle of baddies. If we didn't all work together, I think we could have been killed here. So, who's to say that it didn't, I just don't feel, I don't know. I just had this feeling that if we gave it away and I asked to look at it, it's immediately going to be put off to where it is and I'll never see it again.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's fair. From what I've seen, that does how these contracts are.
So you guys okay with it?
Sure.
By all means.
Nice.
You do see that as he says that, a little bit of smoke comes up from that, just a little bit of
Even some
release.
sparks.
Amazing.
Just like, smoldering.
But yes,
Let's get out of the cave.
you all retrace your steps, following back out the cave that you just came in, and you once more emerge into this canyon gorge, looking out into the falling, into the rising sun, actually, as it is coming up to about 11 o'clock, and you enjoy the breath of fresh air, and still seeing the slight decay bottle to the right, just perched there.
Smokey's gonna grab it.
Okay.
Put it in his backpack.
Smokey grabs it, and
Well-
with book and vial in hand, that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Hey.
But yes, good job, everyone. Congratulations on that. Lucky nat 20. Lot of nat 20s tonight. Oh my god, that was insane.
There were like 5 effectively within that combat.
There were more than 5.
Oh,
There were
more than
like,
5, especially for AJ. AJ got a handful as well.
yeah.
I managed to pull off one, I think.
Yeah, you got one.
Your spiritual weapon is
I feel
pretty
like everyone
just missing
did
one.
some crits somewhere. I think Smokey's the only one who didn't get to crit, except for the Arcana check. Arcana check was his crit.
Yeah, he's not an attacker.
But
He's
good
adorable
job.
is what he is. I love him.
Great work, everyone. And thank you all for those who sat and watched with us, and for those of you who have subscribed and also re-streamed the stream. I really appreciate that, and I hope that you come back again, as we will kick off again next week. Same time, same place, 6:30 PST PM time. And with that, I hope you all have a great evening, and we'll see you later. And don't forget to catch also on this channel, I forgot to mention, we have it on Tuesdays as well at 6:30 PST time. This is the Hoda campaign. I am as a player, and as you recognize our guest star here, Connor, he is also a player there. So if you want to catch that as well, please tune in again, 6:30 PST time, here on the Hoda channel. Again, thanks so much for sticking around. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Yep.
I think it stopped. I don't know if it does. It says stopping streaming, so I'm like, okay, it looks like it should be successfully stopped.
Oh, my shoulder.
Now, I'm going to hit the stop recording, and I hope... I just need to find out where it keeps saving my files.